that you aren't in the wrong, but it was you who passed it along, and now things are confirmed. Baby, nothing of what you said is true. You can't say I didn't warn you. Hope you bump into your conscience that is lacked the decency to state the facts. You are a chismosa. So you say I'm in the wrong. Well, baby, that's a lie. I tell you why I write these songs, but you'd never understand. Why would I tell you anything? I'd never tell you anything, 'cause you'd pass it around. Get those thoughts outside your head. Get all of them out. You can't keep a secret. Baby, nothing of what you said is true. You can't say I didn't warn you. Hope you bump into your conscience that has lacked the decency to state the facts. You are a chismosa. Chismosa. I don't know what you've been told about me, but I hope you weren't listening to anything that they said. 'Cause maybe, baby, it ain't true what you heard. Sometimes meanings become blurred, so I don't want to hear a word. Don't want to hear a word leave your mouth, 'cause that would leave me here without a doubt. You are a chismosa. You tell me that you aren't in the wrong, but it was you who passed it along, and now things are confirmed. Baby, nothing of what you said is true. You can't say I didn't warn you. Hope you bump into your conscience that is lacked the decency to state the facts. You are a chismosa. So you say I'm in the wrong. Well, baby, that's a lie. I tell you why I write these songs, but you'd never understand. Why would I tell you anything? I'd never tell you anything, 'cause you'd pass it around. Get those thoughts outside your head. Get all of them out. You can't keep a secret. Baby, nothing nothing of what you said is true. You can't say I didn't warn you. Hope you bump into your conscience that has left the decency to state the facts. You are a chismosa. Chismosa. I don't know what you've been told about me, but I hope you weren't listening to anything that they say. 'Cause maybe, baby, it ain't true what you heard. Sometimes meanings become blurred, so I don't want to hear a word. Don't want to hear a word leave your mouth, 'cause that would leave me here without a doubt. You are a chismosa. You tell me that you aren't in the wrong, but it was you who passed it along. Now things are confirmed. Baby, nothing of what you said is true. You can't say I didn't warn you. Hope you bump into your conscience that is left the decency to state the facts. You are a chismosa. So you say I'm in the wrong. Well, baby, that's a lie. I tell you why I write these songs, but you'd never understand. Why would I tell you anything? I'd never tell you anything, 'cause you'd bounce it around. Get those thoughts outside your head. Get all of them out. You can't keep a secret. Baby, nothing of what you said is true. You can't say I didn't warn you. Hope you bump into your conscience that has left the decency to state the facts. You are a chismosa. Chismosa. I don't know what you've been told about me, but I hope you weren't listening to anything that they say. 'Cause maybe, baby, it ain't true what you heard. Sometimes meanings become blurred, so I don't want to hear a word. Don't want to hear a word leave your mouth, 'cause that would leave me here without a doubt. You are a chismosa. You tell me that you aren't in the wrong, but it was you who passed it along. Now things are confirmed. Baby, nothing of what you said is true. You can't say I didn't warn you. Hope you bump into your conscience that is left the decency to state the facts. You are a chismosa.
Yeah, what is good? My 8th anniversary, Javier. I didn't know what you were talking about for a little bit, and then I'm like, what is he? I'm getting ready for stream, and Jolie's like, what is Javier talking about? 8th anniversary, and I'm like, I have no idea. Oh, that's right, your message on Twitter. Um, happy 8th anniversary to one of the worst Star Wars movies ever made, The Last Jedi. I want to know. We've only got like 4 people here today, so it's probably Jolie, Javier, Alyssa, and maybe me. I don't know. I was gonna say, do you guys like The Last Jedi? Javier, I don't really know how you feel. The 8th anniversary of The Last Jedi, you see, yes. I don't know how people. Oh, it's fine, Alyssa. I'm not worried. Hey, check it out. You're gonna be so happy. First of all, I've got the sweet Mickey mug. But do you guys know what I'm drinking? Oh, I won't focus on it. I got some lurkers. What's up, bagels? My throat coat tea. Yeah, I got some. I don't know if it's working. I've had it for the past couple days, but I'm doing it for you guys. This is like a live experiment. Throat coat. It feels nice. I'm not like a huge tea drinker, but I was like, oh, where is it? I found it. And I bought it. I was excited about it, but guys, what's up, Alicia? How's it going? Bagel says, I see you haven't actually needed it for a couple weeks, but it did help. Well, yeah, my throat is still like not 100%. So I sing. Jolie's like an amazing singer. I sing. I grew up singing. And we go to church on Sundays. And Christmas, there's a ward choir, like a church choir that you get together and you do stuff with them. And I'm like, I don't know if I can sing, but I practiced the first time, and luckily it was. I hadn't practiced at all. I don't know if any of you guys sing or if you've ever been in choirs, but I I went and practiced for the first time this Sunday after church, and then next Sunday is when we perform, and usually that's not enough time to prepare, but everything was being sung in unison, so I was like, that's pretty good. But when I was trying to sing, I was like, oh, my voice is not there. Yeah, I don't know if Jolie hates The Last Jedi as much as I do, Javier. She hates it. I don't think she likes it, but I was like this big Star Wars nerd. When Jolie and I first got married, Jolie like wasn't used to living with a total geek that like wanted to display figures, which is hilarious now because if you look at her office, her whole office is just covered in Final Fantasy figures, but some more Spencer Jolie lore. When we first got married, I actually moved in with her because she had a place out in California, and I moved out there before, like right when we got married, and then we stayed. When we were married, we're first in the studio apartment, and I put up like one Star Wars figure and a few things on my desk, and she was like, why are you putting that up? So I was like, because I like Star Wars. And she was like, that's kind of like tacky. I mean, in her defense, we were like in a studio apartment that was attached. It was like attached to another home. So it was just like a little studio, like a mini casa house, like little, you just had like a teeny little kitchenette and then like one room where people could congregate and a bedroom, but it was all like one big area. And then there was a bathroom, Yeah, Jolie did play a Jedi at Disneyland once upon a time. Didn't you do like the Padawan Training Academy? Didn't you teach little kids? That's cool. Jolie's got stories. Wait, I'm missing some stuff. Oh, gotcha. So Jolie's talking about Last Jedi. She said, Alicia says, I still haven't listened to the latest episode. Why? Haha. It's okay. You don't have to. Are you talking about the latest like big deep dive that we just released today? Do not worry. That thing's like 2.5 hours long. No one expects you to listen to that, Alicia, right away. Those are meant to be like listen to throughout the week or month. We only get them out like, I don't know, every 2 months or something. And Jolie says she thinks the movie's pretty terrible. She's talking about The Last Jedi. You think Disney could manage to make some good Star Wars movie? Oh, Alicia, yeah. Okay. Oh, how the turntables. Office reference. Very good, but Biggles. But it doesn't make me burst into curse words in front of children like Spencer. So what she's talking about, I know I'm going back and forth because I was just talking about something else, but Jolie and I went to the movie theaters, but we had just seen Last Jedi, but Coco from Pixar had just come out, which is an amazing movie. And I don't know what, Jolie, I don't know what I was saying, but I was like arguing with some guy in the theater about how The Last Jedi was terrible. And I was like, that movie is like a piece of shiz, you know? Like, I'm like, it literally took Star Wars fans, and if you like Star Wars, it just took a big giant crap on you, but I didn't say crap. And I'm like saying this in the theater in Coco, and it's like there's children everywhere, and Jolie's looking at me like, Spencer, what are you doing? So it was a little, not my best moment, but my passion for Star Wars was dying, and I knew it was happening, even though some people, the critics, were telling us that it was amazing. Yeah, so that's what she's talking about when he said I curse, like, doesn't make me break out into curse words. Alyssa says, laugh out loud. Nah, why would you think they could make a good Star Wars movie? Yeah, I liked Rogue One. I liked Force Awakens. Force Awakens is just a New Hope, but it's like they were trying to like reestablish Star Wars because they've been gone so long. And I think had the trajectory gone a different way, I think it could have been like a good series. But then JJ, or no, it was can't remember his name. The guy who does the last one, Ryan Johnson. He just wanted us to all be like, whoa, that I wasn't expecting that. That's like the whole movie. The script is so bad. Yeah, other than money, says Alyssa. I played Jedi at Disneyland, so she said, yep, awesome, because they have so much money. Hire some writers who know what they're doing. Thank you, Alicia. Alicia, okay, I don't know. I'm ragging on Last Jedi. Who, does anyone like the sequel trilogy? Is anyone like a fan of the stuff? You guys should tell me if you were fans of Last Jedi or not. But we're just kind of warming up if you're coming in. We're just chatting about Last Jedi because Javier wanted to talk about it. Got to wear the official robes, which is cool. Those are cool moments. So like everyone rags on Disney for like not making good movies, which is like the core product. So I get it, but it's a bummer because like Disney does some really awesome things too. You know, like Disney lets little kids fight Darth Vader, and they go and like you get to go to Disneyland and get this lightsaber and do Jedi Training Academy, and then like the legit Darth Vader with the stormtroopers come out and the kids are like, oh, let's fight. Like, that's pretty awesome. Like, you wouldn't have had that from any other company, you know? So, very cool. Kids peed their pants all the time in that show, says Jolie. I just like the movies. Yeah. For 6 months, there was only a month between episodes this time, Spence. Give me some love. Oh, that's true. I knew you were going to get mad at me for that. That's true. Jolie got these out pretty quickly. So the first thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to kind of go over what we did on 2025 and talk about kind of like the cool things that we got to do, the reasons why we couldn't get a lot of episodes out because newsflash, we had a baby. But yeah, Alicia says, I can't wait till you guys cover chapters 12 and through 14. It's gonna be crazy, Alicia. We're still in like the side quest silliness right now, but yeah, it's gonna be awesome once we get there. Seppa Gaming says, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Should I know what that reference is? I cannot recall that reference right now, but it sounds familiar. I'm excited to cover those. Yeah, Jolie's got... You're going to love Jolie's takes on those things. Those chapters are going to be wild. So it's, Javier says, so you need to book a date to record the next deep dive. Yeah, so Jolie's actually going through the footage of chapter 10 right now. So the way that works is she'll go through the footage and kind of just see like what what everything is in chapter 10. So it's like going to Cosmo Canyon, you know, and the little Bronco. You're go there. There's all the intel and all that world stuff to do. But then there's also the story stuff. Jolie's gonna write up a script, the stuff for us to follow. Because if you notice, the cool thing that Jolie does that a lot of other channels don't do, like we literally go through, we talk about everything in the game. Like we don't like skip anything. And I know people are like, you're crazy for doing that, but it's like we're just different and we're doing it. But Jolie also will, you know, be talking to the audience. So it's like it works for podcasts and also works for, you know, video, like people that are watching. She'll be saying like, you know, and then Tifa says this, or like whatever, you know, like when she's talking about the planet, and then Jolie will like literally just cut herself off, and then there'll be a jump cut to like Tifa, and then Tifa will start speaking the words that Jolie set up in the script, right? Which is really cool. And then people get to just like relive the game through like our eyes and our perspective and how we experienced it. But the cool thing is like I want to incorporate the community even more. So that's why we are going to be asking for people's input. Jolie will have a breakdown. She'll have a post on YouTube that we'll say we want your questions, comments, you know, anything about chapter 10, and she'll say these are the things that we're covering. But the fun thing about, you know, chapter 10 and beyond, we've kind of struggled a little bit to find a rhythm of like releases. And I'll talk about that in a bit, but it's tricky with kids and having a newborn baby, obviously kind of crazy, but we still tried to get content out for you guys. So hopefully you liked it. But it will be fun to cover that stuff. Jolie says he was screaming swear words in front of a theater of children. I wasn't like, we were getting to our seats, and you know how theaters are kind of dead these days. I don't know if you like where we are. We were getting into our seats, and there were only like 2-3 families there max. It wasn't like the entire theater was there, and I was like, "Hey, everybody! I know you're loving Coco, but The Last Jedi sucked." I wasn't like that, but it was a few people. Alyssa blames Disney more than Johnson. She says their plan was no plan. That's true. That's fair. Johnson just wanted to take it in a different direction, which is fine. And if they allowed him to do it, yeah, Disney is the ultimate culprit there. Tell us how you really feel, Spencer. What's up, Tool Man? Welcome to the stream, man. How's everyone doing? Javier says, I'm not a Star Wars big fan. I only like the OG trilogy just fine. Don't care for the rest, but I have them all. Even the Christmas special back in the day. I know the Christmas special. Only 6 movies of Star Wars, says Sefu Gaming. So is that the original 3 and then the sequel trilogy, or is it the original 3 and the prequels? How funny would it be if it was just the prequels and the sequel trilogy, and you just skip out on the other ones, right? I was not a fan of it or the sequel trilogy in general. Yeah. Breadcrumbs, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. The Star Wars 7 through 9 were okay, better than 1 through 3, not as good as 4 and 6. Yeah, I think that's what some people forget. Like I have my problems with the prequels. They're really bad in a lot of ways, and the acting is bad and the directing is bad. But like at least they didn't like take a crap on the things that are like sacred in Star Wars like trilogy. That's why I hate The Last Jedi, because they just want to be like, oh, this lightsaber that Luke hasn't seen since he got his hand cut off in Cloud City, and it fell from the sky. Like, it just happens to be here. Like, how is that even possible? This was like Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. Your father's, Darth Vader's. He just chucks it over his shoulder. It's like that at the very beginning. I know it was like supposed to shock us, but then I'm like, okay, maybe like it can be redeemed or whatever. It's fine. Like Luke is like whatever. But the whole movie was like just to spit in your face. Do you like Star Wars? Well, you suck. Like, that's kind of how it felt. So it's like, okay. Thanks, Last Jedi. I'm glad that you know, like everything about it. The whole movie was just like, it wasn't subtle at all. It was just like slap you in the face. Oh, the ancient Jedi text? Well, Yoda's here to like burn them down as a Force ghost because it doesn't matter. Or like all this stuff. It's like that movie had a mission. It's like a documentary film like that's super biased towards one side. and their whole goal is to like point something out. It felt like I was watching like someone who didn't like Star Wars and didn't like the fandom. It was like, you know what, you guys are all stupid, so let me tell you why you're stupid, and I'm going to make a movie about why I think you're stupid. And all the characters that you loved, well, they're actually stupid. Yeah, that's how I really feel, Tool Man. Ectogamut. Biggles says, I just feel nothing for those movies. They just bounced off me. I like The Mandalorian, though. Yeah, Mandalorian was cool. Like, I was into The Mandalorian, but then even in season 2, I got bored with it, and I thought it got weird. Because I don't know, like, they just don't have any new ideas, and they had to bring Luke back or whatever, and it was weird. Breadcrumb says, I think the Brandon Sanderson Star Wars 7 through 9. Wait, what? I think they Brandon Sandersoned Star Wars 7 through 9. Were WOT reference. I know Brandon Sanderson. Wheel of Time. Okay, Wheel of Time. So you're saying, okay, if you guys don't know, Brandon Sanderson is this author, and he helped finish the Wheel of Time after Robert Jordan passed away. But then, like, that's fine. I hear what you're saying. I didn't read the story. I didn't read the ending of the Wheel of Time, so I don't know. But I actually read Brandon Sanderson's his own fiction, like his Stormlight Archive and the why can I not think of it? The man. Oh, I'm just drawing a blank. Is with Kelsier and Vin and oh man, the Wax and Wayne books. Why can I not think of these series? I'm just losing my mind. The Mistborn books. Jeez. Okay, Mistborn. Anyway, but I can see what you're saying, Breadcrumb. Alyssa says, don't get me wrong, they got me because I was a Star Wars fan, but even when 7 came out, I was like, it's nostalgia update on episode 4. Yeah, it is. And I went through my phase of like loving Force Awakens when it came out because there was all this hype and there was all this love for Star Wars again. But then everyone's like, it's just kind of a reskin New Hope, right? A droid has some plans that they need to take somewhere to like blow up a bigger Death Star. It's the same thing. It's whatever. But it still, at least the tone felt like it was trying to play off of the originals, even though it didn't have its own like original ideas. But I was hoping, but it did a good job of setting up the world. It's like, you got to find Luke and these are things that are going to happen or whatever, But then it just went off in a weird direction. So yeah, Alyssa says it may also take another 2 or 3 years before we get there. I'm like, that's why I like the Old Republic, because it's so far back and it doesn't have any ties to like the Empire or the First Order or Darth Vader. It's just its own thing. But we can still have the fun powers and the lore. Alicia says, I hope not. That reference is the gayest Star Wars. Oh, what? Seppu Gaming? Oh, you're talking about the Acolytes. Oh yeah, there was that controversy about like whatever. So yeah, it gets like, I don't care. Like, if you can be gay in Star Wars, that's fine. But it's like, if they're trying to preach to you and be like, if it feels like when you're going to a movie and you're looking for escapism and they're trying to inject like identity politics from the current day, it's like, why are we doing this? I know art like is always a way to like express a message, but this is the problem I have with Rian Johnson's films, because it's like, see, like what you thought was not what was going to happen, and all that stuff you liked before doesn't matter. Star Wars is dumb, but you can like this new version. It's like, respect us a little bit. Like, the reason why we like Star Wars is because we're like nerds and we have a little bit of reverence for the world that you've created, So yeah, I mean, like, I don't care if there's gay characters in like Star Wars or whatever. It's cool. But then I've never watched The Acolyte, but I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, Separate Gaming, is that like they made it about that. But I can't speak to that because I didn't watch it. So, but I think that's what you're referencing. Alyssa says it makes sense. Javier and they have lives to live after all, and clearly spend hours going over each chapter. Yeah, this is us just taking forever. And I need to make Ernest play the game, Alyssa. Yeah, we do. Every time we have a new chapter, Ernest is forced to play. Spencer, do you like the Fallen Order game series? I do like the Fallen Order. I played Fallen Order like multiple times. And I have not played Jedi Survivor. I played it a little bit. I would like to get back to it, but for now, not so much. Alyssa says, gotta buy Ernest a PS Portal for Christmas so he can play on the go. That would be good. I don't know how to get him to play. Okay, so yeah, you point out a good point. I want to get to that. I'll put a pin in that, Alyssa, but it's like, he said he was in chapter 11 or 12, though I doubt he actually is. So that, I have some behind the scenes knowledge I will impart to you once we get to that. That's later on in the stream. Because Ernest said that he would commit to beating the game. We recorded that. If Jolie, if you're still on, when did we record the latest episode that just came out today? We recorded that back in like May or April. I can't remember. Maybe May. I think our littlest was like 2 months old, or maybe 3. I can't remember. Maybe June. I don't know. Crazy. So he said he was going to finish it back then when we recorded it. I haven't even talked to Ernest about playing the game since then. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, okay, totally. Anyway, Javier says the prequels didn't dump on the OG lore, Spencer. Well, okay, but there was no lore. It was adding to lore. And it was George Lucas. It's not like the midichlorians dumped on it, because in the originals it was just some like, prophecy, but then George Lucas tried to explain it all. Yeah, it sucks. But it's not like they were like, "Oh, Darth Vader's actually like a little punk and nobody cares," George Lucas went too like autistic nerdy with it. He was like, the metachlorians blood count makes him like the most sensitive Force user ever, right? So he went the other direction. Bridge 4 loves Anderson's work. Heck yeah, breadcrumbs and gaming. He teaches it. Well, I don't know if he does anymore, but he used to teach at BYU down here in Utah where we are. Anyway, so let's see. Bridge 4. And Anakin been Jesus, basically, and the political mumbo jumbo snorefest. Not a fan. Hate sand. Yeah, I mean, like, but like that's it. Do you understand the difference, Javier? It's like that's them taking it too seriously. Like they're like, we're gonna like literally show you like Congress and have senates and like the Galactic Senate where you have to vote on stuff. Snooze fest. But they're like, this is legit. Like, that's the difference. I hate the metachlorians concept. Hey, let's replace mysticism with a dumb scientific explanation, which, by the way, plays into the problematic trope of DNA determining destiny. Yeah, it sucks. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's like that was them being like, let's go really hard into it. Yeah, Javier agrees. Oh, did we finally get a peek at the trophy list? No trophy list. So let me explain. In fact, let's go here. So for the first thing that we're going to do today, I thought it would be fun. The year's ending. I don't plan on stopping streaming. Like, if I have time, like I'll stream. I know the holidays get a little crazy. And we do have a few events that are coming up that will prevent me from streaming. This week even might be a bit tricky. Let me pull up my calendar here. So we have events going on because we have family in town a little bit early. So I don't think I'll be able to stream. I mean, maybe Friday night we're getting together with like family, but we have young children and they have to go to bed at a decent hour. So that's why I start so late so we can still hang out. But with young kids, it always means that I'll be home, and we're old now, and like we have Christmas at our house. We don't go to other places or whatever, so we're not traveling. So I plan on doing some streams. Jolie and I just like we're nerds at night when the kids go to bed. She goes and edits, and I, do this, or we play video games together or whatever. But I don't know. Is that something that you guys would be interested in? If I was to continue streaming over the break, I know a lot of people like vanish during that time, so maybe it would be a good time for people to hang out. We could still play tactics. We're getting close to being done, but I don't even know if like I'm going to keep streaming after tactics is over. I think I probably will, but there might be like a break until we find like a new thing, like a new game to play. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm up in the air. about what to do. Yeah, let's see. You guys are saying that was Lucas getting toxic positivity by every employee. Yeah, there is no one to reel him in like the OG trilogy. Yeah, I even mentioned it in one of our deep dives. I think it's already out, but when I talk about how like George Lucas is like in a group of people and he's like, Jar Jar is the key to all of this. And everyone around him is probably like, no, Jar Jar is like not that important, but they're just nodding their heads in approval. They're like, yes, George, Jar Jar is the key to this. So yeah, there was a bunch of toxic positivity for sure. Family stream, that would be fun. Like because Jolie and I would have to have like a game that we could figure out. We also need to figure out like a streaming setup. I'm just in the like upstairs bedroom, and this is where like my computer is and stuff. But Jolie's whole stuff is downstairs in her office. Like we want to do it together, but we don't really know how to do that. We could figure it out, but yeah, we plan on doing that. We just don't know the logistics of it right now. It's the holidays. Spending time with your family is most important. If you have time, definitely will be down to watch. Yeah, like I'm not gonna, like I'm saying, we're established and most people come to us. So obviously, like we go and do things, but we have young children, so we can't like stay out that late. We do things where some days we stay out late, but we'd probably be home. But I just don't know if you guys are all going to be off doing stuff with your families and you'd be like, hey, sorry, I don't want to hang out and like play games with you guys tonight or open presents because I got to watch Spencer talk about The Last Jedi on a Final Fantasy stream. You know what I mean? Wait, are you saying Zach is the Jar Jar of Final Fantasy VII Remake according to the latest deep dive? Is that what we're saying? I don't know. You can stream 1 day a week during the holidays if you like, Censor Me. Thanks for allowing me. No, I don't know. Like, but yeah, just to set your expectations. Like I might, once Tactics is done, I'll probably take like a little bit of a hiatus. Jolie and I will like work out some kinks, figure out how it works into our schedules. 3 days a week has been a lot for me. Not that it's been like bad. I think it's been good. I wanted to do 3 days a week and I wanted to be consistent because I wanted to show people that like you could show up and you could count on me being consistent like most every week, right? Except for when I got surgery and things like that. But and I lost my voice. But I want like maybe 2 times a week would be better just because like I'm like getting the kids to bed and everything's done and I'm like, oh, like I gotta go to stream, which I love doing. This is like super fun for me, by the way. But there's times when I'm like, oh man, I need to like, I need to really, clean up the house, or I should go to the gym, or I should do something. And I'm like, can't do it, I have to get a social post out, or I have to like do all these things. Just the things. These are not problems. These are just the realities of like trying to like show people that you exist, But yeah, so Alyssa says Darth Jar Jar. You guys say Zach was in the cover and he's a big deal, but yeah, not much. Yeah. Do you do what you can handle? Yeah. No, I mean like I think streaming has been great, and that's what kind of what we're talking about. So let me switch over here. Until like you guys kind of tell me what you think. Zach on the cover was a wild choice. It was crazy. I think like the Steelbook edition is like him carrying Cloud into Midgar with like a Steelbook Buster Sword or whatever. Kind of nuts. All right. But here, let's switch over. And I think like when we redo streaming again, like I think I will, build out some of my, like I will fix some of this. I did some stream transitions where we switch over and I think they look cool, but it's like kind of pointless. And it always is like, I would rather just be able to like kind of move things around and fix chat and stuff. But that's the fine. Okay. So, these are the posts that we made from the very beginning. So this was last year. The last episode we did chapter 7 analysis. That came out literally like a year ago right now, little less than a year ago. Next week will be, and then we were like, thanks to everyone for New Year. That was like, we had just barely started, we had barely been going for like about a year, but we hit 2,000 subscribers in When do we hit 2,000 subscribers? Yeah, like that was in January. So that was like the first thing of the year. Jolie's like saying, "Hey, we're incredibly grateful to each and every one of you for helping us reach 2,000 subscribers. Just days before the 1-year anniversary of us posting our first video, right?" So yeah, so that was like January. I think like right before, because we started the channel in like February of 2023. Maybe. No, 2024. February 2024 is when we started, which is crazy because I feel like we've been doing this forever. But I guess it'll be like almost 2 years, right? And then we were like, hey, you know, this was in February. We're like, it comes out chapter 8, part 1. But this is the first time that we did like a part where we split it up because the episodes just kept getting bigger and bigger. You know, chapter 8 is like the first gold saucer. What did you guys say here? Javier, honestly, while I do think the cover was stuff was too much, I think the game actually gave us the right amount of Zach, says Alyssa. You liked the amount of Zach that we got? Some people were upset about it. Seppa Gaming says, hi, Spencer, about the stream. Another Final Fantasy 9, maybe to celebrate the 25th anniversary. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of games we could play. We are a Final Fantasy channel. There's so many Final Fantasy games I have not played. There's games that Jolie and I haven't played together. I think what the idea is, like, Jolie and I want to stream together, but I can't promise you like when that's going to happen or whatever, but like look forward to it because it's going to be awesome once we do it. Yeah, that's why subtext goes on about devs chicken out with Zach. Yeah, in his video, it's like they literally, in all his marketing, they were like, he's an integral part. We got 2,000 subs, yay! Thanks to Tifa's shipping rant. No, that was not. Maybe it was because of Tifa's shipping rant. I don't know. That was chapter 6 before that. Toolman says chapter 12 going to be like 145 hours. Oh yeah, my biggest concern into Rebirth was honestly Zach. I was thinking of 2026 Toolman. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, yeah, chapter 12 is going to be a freaking doozy. But to be clear, Jolie bases the scripts off of each deep dive, based off of how long like her playthrough was. So right now, what she's doing is she's chronologizing all the footage, and she's seeing how long it took her to play. So she'll tell you, if you listen to the chapter 9, like first part, she says, this took me the longest time out of any chapter in the game. Chapter 9 was like her biggest, chapter, because that was like cleaning up all the intel in chapter 8 in the Corel Desert, and then finally going into Gongaga, and then you do all the story stuff, but then you have side quests like in the town, and then you go outside and you finish the story, but then it doesn't end. Then it opens up Gongaga region for you to traverse, and you can't traverse Gongaga. It's like super tricky, right? So that's why chapter 9 took so long. But this is, like I said, chapter 8, we did part 1 because we talk a lot about, going to the gold saucer, and then some other parts that open up in chapter 8. That's the dying part right here. So that second part hit about a month later. That was in March. And then, just so you guys know, this released the day. Yeah, that's the day our son was born. His birthday is on March 24th. So she finished it right up, she's like talking about this here. My original promise was to publish this baby by the time we had our real baby, which is also scheduled to be delivered on Monday. So both this episode and our baby will be born at the same time. Baha, so dumb but exciting nonetheless. Boomtown. You can always tell when Jolie writes something because it's way more clever than when I write anything. But yeah, she's so funny. That's when we had our kid. So we have a baby in 2025, right? And taking care of a newborn, you're thinking like, Jolie's like, I got maternity. I'm going to get like time off. It's not time off with a newborn, I don't know if any of you guys have kids. If you've got kids, I don't know about your like, stuff with kids, if you're parents or not, but having kids is tricky, but it's awesome. So then we hit 3,000 subscribers in March of this year. So yeah, we were at 3,000 at March, and then yeah, this is us having our baby, right? Little baby. He's our little chocobo, which is crazy. Can't believe it, but super grateful. He's the best. Our kids are the best. But that was the first clothes that he wore. Um, you guys say I don't understand Zach cover criticism at all. To me, it seems entirely justified. Oh, let's spicy. Let's have an argument in chat. I'm pretty sure around then was the time I found out you guys had played catch up on episodes while waiting for the newest one. Gotcha. I was watching the streamer that just finished Intergrade, and she got that Zach was Aerith. She got that Zach was Aerith's ex, and she thinks there's going to be a four-way love situation once Zach reaches the party on Rebirth. Boy, she's going to be in for a big surprise. I don't know, man. It's going to get crazy. But anyway, so yeah, then after these things came up, then we hit 5,000 subscribers a little while later. Just right after having a baby, like 2 months after, which is great. Ernest was going to some expos. So Ernest has like always gone to expos. He's gone out and done a bunch of stuff. He's done that before he was like part of the Final Fantasy Files, you know. He likes to go to like retro gaming expos. That's where Breadcrumbs met Ernest. He was at Breadcrumbs. Were you at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo? Is that where he met you? I think something like that. So this was another one in Portland, but it was a smaller venue, right? But he went there, and then we introduced our first time ever when we were look. So chapter 9 is the first time we ever asked for people's inclusion, right? Your thoughts, which is awesome. So we got a bunch of comments. Let's take a look at some of these bad boys. This is like when I made this graphic. This is like behind the scenes. So Cloud's pointing like this with his hand, you know, and it's kind of crappy looking. I mean, most people don't really notice it, but I wanted to get his hand pointing out, and that's just the shot that, you know, when the first of remake happens. But I grabbed a 3D model of him and I pointed it towards the camera. So this is actually like Cloud's glove in I think it's the remake model or something, and I played around with it in Blender and I just had it point at us. But it was really crappy lit, and it wasn't like very high like poly model to be up that close. So it looks kind of chintzy, but that's some behind the scenes footage of that thing. I've got Cloud calling out for comments, but yeah, so the way that Jolie did it, so if you read this is what we'll do for chapter 10 too. She like literally lists everything that we go through. And so if you really, you know, want to be hyper specific, you can see like what we went through and then people can comment on it. But the thing that's going to be different this time is that we're not going to be doing, like Jolie will write out the script, the whole thing, and she'll dump it all here. But we're going to do it in sections so we can get the episodes out quicker. Because the problem is Jolie has to edit like a 5-hour video. And if you've ever edited a 5-hour video, like with all the complexities that Jolie's throwing into these videos, it takes a long time. So instead of just trying to, you know, cover the entire chapter in a single recording, because not only do we have to cover everything that Jolie has like written in her script, but then we also have to record that long. And what we've found out is that it's very difficult to record when you have 3 children under the age of 6, right? And, you know, they need to go to bed, but like what we would do is we would like record on a Saturday and we would record all day. And we'd have parents come and watch the kids, but they'd get hungry, you know, and we'd like try to take a break or get them lunch or something, or our grandparents were helping out. But then the newborn baby would cry and Jolie's, you know, nursing the baby. So then she'd have to run out and nurse the baby and do all this stuff. And yeah, it gets crazy hectic. And we've just decided like, we don't need to take it a whole day and knock it all out in once. So what we're probably going to do moving forward is we're going to try to record at nights, kind of like during, you know, streaming time like this. So when we have a recording, chapter 10 that's coming up, we're going to say, hey, we want your opinions on chapter 10. We'll list, Jolie will have the whole script and everything that she's, you know, worked on ready to go. And she'll say, you know, you can comment on all of this, but then we might just pick and choose things from like the first part that we go over. And so like there might be like 5 parts, there might be 7 parts, there might be 10 parts to chapter 10. And I know that seems like maybe people will be like, oh, we're still on chapter 10. But I think if we're getting the episodes more frequently, I think it's just something to help the channel be more consistent. Like we're coming out with stuff more often. and it's not going to be like this marathon stream or recording for us that our kids will be able to see their parents. So I think the idea is to try to put them to bed and have us like, you know, record the episodes. And we should be able to do that over the few nights that we do. So like right now, like our kids are just asleep. All the kids are asleep right now. And it works out okay. So there might be a few things where we have to run out and do stuff, but let's see here. That's right, breadcrumbs. You met Ernest at Portland Retro Gaming, and he gave you a card, which is awesome. That's so cool. It's like the card worked. You showed up. Yeah. But let me see. What do you guys have? Oh, okay. Alyssa says, "Oh, you're talking about Lightweight. You're talking about stream or something." Yep, Alyssa, really fun gal. Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed her playthrough. So you guys watched a streamer's playthrough? Awesome, very cool. I hope they had a good time playing Rebirth. Javier says she's funny. They're heavily hinting at Cloud being the reason why Cloud is able to finally defeat Sephiroth this time, unlike the OG Advent Children. Zack being the reason. Okay. I have thoughts about all this stuff. Like, it's so funny because for me, it's like, I don't even know why Cloud is as strong as he is. Like, isn't he like just like a grunt soldier? He's not really like soldier first class, right? And then he's just like doing all the moves, and we're like stomping on third and second class soldiers throughout the game. And it's like, I don't know. I know he's protagonist like magic power energy or whatever, but like I think they just want us to accept that Cloud is like can win because reasons. I know that he has like some Mako experimentation and stuff, but let's see. They're heavily yeah, okay. Zack being the reason. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'm catching up here. The hand reaching Cloud back looks funny. Looks like he is touching the back of his head. He's just grabbing his sword, Javier. This is my crappy Photoshop that you could have done a much better job. But I hope you appreciate, Javier, that I pulled the actual Cloud glove model out of Blender and took a screenshot of it. At least that, you know. But I tried to like get the lighting right in Photoshop, and it doesn't look so great. Well, next time I can have you clean it up, Javier. It's Chippendales, not Chippendales, or so I've heard. Okay, yeah, right, Biggles. You know exactly what it's called. The hand reaching Cloud back looks funny. Looks like he is touching the back of his head like a Chippendale dancers do. Hey, give Javier a break, man. English is a second language and he speaks perfectly. Alyssa says, yeah, consistency should help with the algorithm. It's okay. Like, I mean, algorithm would be great. Be cool if people saw our stuff. But like we grew a ton this year and we did not expect it, you know? But like I've been going through, like we were at 2,000 subscribers at right at the beginning of the year in January. And we're like approaching 10K now, you know? And we didn't, and that's with a year where we didn't do a lot of consistent work. Like, I mean, sorry, that's not fair. We worked a lot on the channel, like a lot, but we didn't get through like everything, you know, that we wanted to because we had circumstances like we had a baby. Let's see here. We all have thoughts, Spencer. Oh, you're talking about Cloud. Cool. Zack is the key to everything. Prove me wrong. Do you want spoilers, Spencer, on Cloud's abilities? Alyssa won't let me say why. No, I don't want spoilers. I want to see what it's like in part 3. Cloud can win because reasons. That's actually a lot better than ascribing it to metachlorians. I don't know. I like mysticism, but if it's just like, if I'm supposed to take Sephiroth seriously, okay? Here, rant cam. This is for Javier. Okay. You get a sneak peek to my actual opinions of the villain of Final Fantasy VII that's so beloved. I think Sephiroth's kind of lame. I don't know his motivations. I don't know why everyone loves him. He doesn't have a clear goal other than like to bring Meteor down, right? And he'll state why, but it's just obscure and weird. Because he was like this war hero that he's like got Genova cells that it like actually like, I know he's like Lucretia's son or whatever with Hojo, and that he I don't know, like there's some weird explanations for whatever. I don't know Genova's intent, like why this alien life form is so like evil or whatever, but like Sephiroth has this revelation or whatever in when he's down in Hojo's lab or in the Shinra mansion, right? Is it the Shinra mansion in Nibelheim? And then he just loses it. Okay, so he's like this crazy person. It's like we got to stop Sephiroth because he's this crazy person. But then it's like he's just gone for like most of the game, and then he just shows up in the random times. I know that it's not actually him. I know that it's like Genova and clones or like whatever. But like I don't like the weird dialogue between him and Cloud. I want my villains to have like clear motives and like I want them to be relatable. Sephiroth is like the most unrelatable villain in the history of video games. He's just like this long-haired pretty boy, like he's like 7 feet tall. He has like a 10-foot tall sword, and he's just got aura. And I think people just love him because of his design and because like what he felt like in the OG. I don't think that like they love him because he's actually that compelling. Okay, so that's like my hot take. I could be wrong because I haven't played part 3 and I haven't played the original, but I think Sephiroth kind of sucks. So therefore, the villain kind of sucks, and it just kind of feels like this party is going on this mission because the writers want them to. I don't. So if I'm crapping on your love for Final Fantasy VII, like, it's fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not like trying to be, transgressive here for a reason, and like I'm not trying to be like Sebi or whatever the guy is, who's like Final Fantasy VII, the original was awesome, and Final Fantasy VII like remakes suck, right? He has Toolman says his iconic status is mainly because he spoiler at the spoiler. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Like I'm gonna learn some more. But like so far, it's like they're so far up Sephiroth's right now. Like the whole remake trilogy, it's like Sephiroth, the one-wing angel, like, ooh, like he was like this war hero. Ooh, Sephiroth, Oh, in chapter 1, like we see the black feather fall down. Oh, like then he appears out of nowhere, and it's like Sephiroth's manipulating all of this. Like he's got it all figured out. But it's like these are just like fan theories being projected onto him. He's like not actually doing this stuff, right? It's like when we see Aerith go through remake and all the stuff that she does, and we're like learning about the whispers and the fate that should happen. I know that in the OG, like up to this point, like we've never even like really seen Sephiroth, right? So it's just like all this conjecture that people are like throwing on and projecting onto this new Sephiroth's motives. It's like, well, we never saw Sephiroth this early, so like clearly there's this new and more powerful Sephiroth, this Omni Sephiroth who can like, travel between worlds because whatever. It's like the plot is so dumb, you guys. Like it's so dumb right now. I like the characters. I like the adventure that we're going on, but like it's just like there's like, why are the party fighting this guy who like never shows up? Like if they just stop doing something, okay, okay. Junon chapter, right? You've got Junon, and you're talking to at the end of Junon after the parade scene when you're talking to Rufus, and he's like, "Hey, I want you guys like to take out this Shinra guy or this Sephiroth guy." And they're like making this pact or whatever. It's like, okay, sure. So weird to me because like if they did nothing, if they just stood back and were like, actually, like what kind of like trouble is Sephiroth, doing? Is he causing you issues? Like, is Sephiroth going in and blowing up your reactors like Avalanche? is Sephiroth doing like, why do you care to kill Sephiroth? Is it because there's some weird Glenn Lodbrok dude that's like showing up and you think he's being controlled by Sephiroth? Like it doesn't explain anything. Like the fact that they just throw that in there like like Sephiroth's the real threat. It's like, yeah, they see that big like vision of meteor coming down. It's like, we got to stop him. It's like, I don't think that's a good enough explanation for why he should matter. I mean, yes, saving the world is something that should matter. But it's like, who believes this? Is this true? Like, it just, everyone just acts like Sephiroth's the boogeyman because he was like this famous war hero and he's gone missing. But he's not like causing any problems because he's not really around. I know Genova's doing shenanigans and stuff with clones or whatever, but it's like not enough to like cause people to worry about this guy. Let me see what you guys are saying. I'm guessing since they probably going to make Glenn's Cloud dad, and that's will be an explanation since he was the OG soldier because of your shorts. Are you talking about okay, yeah, I don't know. Javier says my straight isn't speaking English. I don't write English very much for obvious reasons. Okay, no, that's fine. You're incredible, Javier. You should not. You're awesome. He's just a cool guy. Yeah, it's like Cloud is the protagonist and he has spiky cool hair and he carries a big sword. And all the girls love him. So he gets powers, I guess. Everyone loves Sephiroth because he's the hot anime villain, Spencer. You should know that by now. It's like, that's what it feels like. And like, we give I don't know, like, me and Jolie are the type of people that won't give that just a pass. Our channel is never going to be just say like, that's okay. We're going to say that's stupid, but we still enjoy these games. You know what I mean? He was more menacing when he didn't have 2 games to appear in for no reason. Yeah, that's like the biggest complaint for OG fans, right? It's like you saw like the Masamune and like the President Shinra's chest, and it's like actual blood trails when you're going through Hojo's laboratory or whatever, you know. But now it's like Sephiroth shows up every minute, but it's like Cloud just freaking out. He's like, trust me, guys, this dude's bad. And they're like, okay, I guess you're right, psychopathic, mentally unstable Cloud. We'll trust you. It's just like, respect my intelligence a little bit more, game, right? Like I get it. This is like how the old storytelling was, and it wasn't as sophisticated back then. And or not that the writing wasn't as sophisticated, but they couldn't. I don't know. Jolie she argues with this, right? It's like they couldn't portray everything that they wanted to. But Jolie says the easiest thing for them to fix, and the least expensive thing for them to fix is to say like, you know, is to a writer, you know. So if Nojima was like, I don't even know who the original writer was, like, is it Nojima? Was he the same writer of the original as he is the remake? I don't know. So yeah, he was the real villain is Hojo. What do you think of Hojo? I think he's actually creepy. But he's like cartoony villain, right? Like no subtlety in Hojo. So it's like, yeah, he's gross. And then they just like they do all the tricks to make you hate Hojo. It's like he's hanging around hot women and he's like using his power and like influence to like have sort of things. And then he just is like, you know, he runs all these experiments on good people and he hurts people like Red and everything. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I get it. He's bad. But don't you expect more out of your fiction, you guys? You know? I like Hojo. I like Sephiroth. I like these characters. But when you really think about it, it's like, man, this is like kind of dumb. Right? Toolman says his iconic sex. Oh yeah, I read that. Spoiler. Soft magic system are always superior. In World of Warcraft, they spent decades referencing the Titans without ever explaining them. Then devs tried to explain them, only led to more questions. Yeah, that's fine. Like, it is tricky, but when you have to... Okay, that's fine, Bigglesworth, if you can like they can be this mysterious figure, but like if they're like the main threat, like put I don't know who the Titans are in World of Warcraft, but like let's say they're the main threat. You got to explain them at some point. They can't just like right now Sephiroth is just like this specter that's looming over everything, and you're supposed to you're supposed to accept the fact that he's like the big bad. But he's not proving that he's the big bad. The game just keeps throwing like brain static at Cloud and saying he's the big bad, and then you just fight random stuff. And then the world reacts to Sephiroth as if he's the big bad. Like I said, Rufus is like, "Can you take out Sephiroth?" It's like, why do you care? He's not doing anything to you. The president of the Shinra Electric Power Company would give two craps about Sephiroth. He hasn't done anything, well, other than murder his dad. So maybe that's why. But like, as far as like, I'm just thinking of like a CEO, you know, of like a Fortune 500 company or like a big company. It's like the only people he interacts with are like very, very, very minimal like NPCs that never really talk much, and then like Cloud. So it's like you're driving the story forward by chasing him. Hojo really is the real villain. Yeah, wow, hot take. What's up, Roosevelt? Yeah, sorry, I'm crashing out a little bit about how I think Sephiroth is kind of a dumb villain. I think he's awesome. Like I think he looks cool. I think the character's cool, but I'm like explain to me why Sephiroth is interesting other than the fact that the game tells you that he's menacing and interesting, you know? I think Final Fantasy VII is uber hype. It's not the masterpiece that they make it out to be. It's just great moments, but to me, the story-wise, it's all over the place. Yeah, it's like but I don't care. Like I think this game is fueled by nostalgia. Like back in the day when it came out, it was like the greatest thing ever, and they did crazy marketing, and people are like obsessed with it, and they have so much nostalgia for it, and they're trying to get like new fans. And I think they're realizing with kind of the weak sales that like this isn't the juggernaut today that they thought it would be, right? I think all the old fans are coming back and they're like, you know, debating over the stuff. And I think they're getting a few new fans like me who come in and like, my wife loves this series and Cloud is iconic and Sephiroth are iconic. Like they are iconic. You can't argue with that. You can't look at Cloud and you can't look at Sephiroth and say, these are not iconic, you know, video game characters. They obviously are, right? But they're pushed that way. They Square Enix like probably paid Nintendo a lot of money to like get them in Smash Brothers. I don't know if how that worked or whatever, because Smash Brothers is like a big marketing thing. I can't imagine Nintendo being like, we want Cloud in our game, you know? It's like they're probably like, please put Cloud and Sephiroth in your game, because that's like, these are iconic characters, but they deserve to be there. I mean, there's some of the most, you know, because he kills Aerith and there's all this stuff and people remember those moments, you know? But when you really dissect it and look at it, it's like, what is so special about Cloud? What is so special about Sephiroth? To me, the stuff like the party interaction and the journey they're going on, like this is the cool stuff. So I'm like all in on the party. You know, I like Barrett, I like Tifa, I like Aerith, I like everybody, you know, and I like the way Cloud's navigating it, and you're seeing it through his eyes. So yeah, any Roosevelt, but like I'm looking at it from someone who's never played the original. I have no nostalgia for this series at all, like zero. So I'm coming in and being like, okay, this is cool. People really like these characters. I kind of like them too. The villain doesn't really make any sense to me. But I'm not calling it bad. I'm just saying it's, you know, let's wait for part 3 and see what happens. Alyssa says, the thing is, even if you played the OG now, you're never really the same. It's okay. You'll never really get the same experience. Yeah. It's fine. But you know what that experience is? It's nostalgia. I'll never have nostalgia for this series because I didn't play it when I was 7. I played it when I was 40, you know? And that's okay. But I think people have a hard time admitting that this is fueled by nostalgia and not because it's like one of the greatest stories ever told. Toolman says hard magic system riders. It's DNA and limited, and you need 4 magic rocks. And so it came to happen. And so it came to happen because I wanted it to. Yeah. I mean, like, you gotta always, there can be some mystery. You don't have to explain everything. I think like I've been criticized for this, and this is fair. That I've like, come on, like game, explain everything. Like the whispers, whatever. It's like you're not explaining anything, right? But you gotta give us some stuff to like put our hat on, you know? Javier is the best. Javier, it's a lot of nostalgia. 9 has the best story of all of them, in my opinion. Cool. Like I know, like see people. I think 7 is mostly nostalgia, and people really dig deep and they can find something that connects with them, and that's awesome. So it doesn't matter. Like if it connects with you, then it's a good story, right? Javier says your dog on the back is like this is JPEG. Yeah, he's passed out. He's like, so Spencer's just ranting. I'm so bored. Here we go, ranting about the same game. Lord of the Rings remake, wherein we finally explain Tom Bombadil. No thanks. Yeah, Peter Jackson got it right. We knew who the threat was, and they went to take it out. It's hard to explain why Sephiroth is the big bad without accepting that it's at least somewhat a sequel. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know, guys. I'm not trying to be like crappy. Hey.
Oh, yeah, I think Sephiroth's really weird. He doesn't make any sense.
I'm drinking throat coat tea, like you guys suggested. And I had my Mickey mug. So it's okay. Like, but I hope you guys can accept that, like, I'm confused and there's a reason why I'm confused. When everyone gets online and just Spencer, like, it makes total sense. Like, you're just dumb. I'm like, no, like, I'm not like, maybe I'm not like catching everything, but I'm not stupid, and this doesn't explain it very well. But I think a lot of people just want people to like the stuff that they like. So when people disagree with it, it doesn't mean I'm crapping on the game. It means I'm like, this doesn't make sense for me yet. Hopefully they do, because I'm really enjoying a lot about the game, you know? Just because I'm not like getting the story very well. Like, I think they want you to be confused. So all right, I'm confused, but if you don't said this a million times, if you don't pay it off in part 3, then I'm just going to be left confused and be like, okay, so it's just this game was for all the nostalgic people who have played the OG a bajillion times and understand what's going on. Javier says, I like better. You like Final Fantasy 7 6 story personally, Alyssa. 8 was cute. Yeah, 8 has a good romance. So villain wise, Hojo is the sleeper villain. Yeah, I get it. Like I know that he's the one like creates Sephiroth, and he's the one that's going on and all these things. He's using Genova, and he's sticking Genova and everything, right? If you're a writer, the creator of a fictional world, you need to know where to draw the line, which things are supposed to be unknowable, and not give it into the fans. But see, I disagree. We were just talking about him. I don't know, breadcrumbs. If you're still here, I don't know if have you read Brandon Sanderson's books? Bagels. Brandon Sanderson is like known for his world building and his magic systems, and he literally like explains how everything works, and it makes sense, and it's so very good. Yeah, obviously it's like, where does this power come from? I don't know if you've read the Stormlight Archive, but he'll be like, Kaladin gets like, he's storm blessed, right? But then he explains that it's because he has this spren that connects with him, right? But he gets his power from the spren. Spren's like a little fairy thing. Right, but then he builds into it more. It's like actually he can fly in the sky because he's a wind runner, and then it talks about the wind runner and how he's able to do all these things, right? Whereas just being like he can do this because he's protagonist, you know? It's like, no, you can explain the world and be really detailed, but you can also, you know, flesh out your world, flesh out your characters, and understand their motivations, and why they like. Because if you can't explain why they're a threat, then they're not a threat. Mystery can lend to that threat, and it can make it like the ambiguity can like make you uneasy and be like, because we are afraid of things we don't understand. Sure, right? But then if it's just like we don't really know why he was a big bad, that's not good. The writing is always strange because there is multiple cooks in the kitchen. Nojima is the writer of the scenario, but he takes ideas from other leads and implements them. It's a shared vision. Okay, yeah, that is tricky. That sounds like a bad. If they've all kind of know the story, but like there should be one guy who like knows the story and this is like what's happening, you know, and they can tweak it or whatever. But if they're all being like, well, wouldn't this be cool or wouldn't this be cool? That would be bad. Javier was let's see, when I was a kid, 8. Cool. Oh, you're talking about 8 because Gunsword was cool. Yeah. I just want to know if Squall is alive, Alyssa. Lava, depends on what theory you like the most. See, I don't know anything about Happens in 8. That's the one Jolie played. I like the one that Javier says, I like the one that he is death, and that's more interesting. Okay, you guys are talking about 8. Let's see. Toolman says, the whispers are different from soft magic. Soft magic doesn't have a set purpose usually, and the whispers clearly have a secret hard purpose. They just won't tell us what that is until the end. Yeah, that's fine. Spencer never trusts anyone who says that they have all the answers. I don't, but it's like it's that positivity online where everyone's just like, yeah, like it all makes sense. Not they say it all makes sense. They like I was talking to Subtext on his stream. Yes, 2 days ago. Yeah. Wait. Sunday. So it was yesterday. And he's like, he was talking about the ending, and I was giving him pushback. I was just being like, yeah, but you know, he was watching Max react to his video that he did. And Maximilian dude was like, yeah, like it's like you feel nothing at the end because we're just like Cloud and it all makes sense or whatever. And Max is going off, and it's like, yeah, because you're like hyper obsessed with this game and like understand what state Cloud's in the original game, right? And it's like they're like, that's genius because they want you to feel just like Cloud felt, you know? And it's like you're totally forgetting us who have never played. And then they always come back and they say like, no, like those people that have played the original, like they get it, like, you know. Or sorry, those people that haven't played the original, they still talk about how like it's intense for them and they like it's starting to make sense. I'm like, I don't buy it. Anyway. But see, I will buy it if they succeed at, you know, paying it off in part 3. But like the whole will they won't the ending with Rebirth ending, I think that only works for you if you've played the original. I don't think that works at all. And I'll talk more about that when we get to chapter 14. But like in what world would that work for someone who's never, you know, played the other games? Or the other game? Because it's like, what am I supposed to think? It's like, well, yeah, like they've been hinting all along that Cloud's kind of loopy. But it's like, I know that we like see the world from Cloud's perspective, but like I play the game and I'm like, I'm a participant in it, but I don't think I'm just Cloud. Like I think I'm like, well, so wait, what? Why is Tifa crying? Or like, what's going on with Barrett? Like, what? Where is Aerith? She just fought with me in the last battle, but then she's not there. Like, Cloud can see her. Okay, this is weird. Like, I don't know. And washing it down with water, laugh out loud. Nah, you're meant to be confused. I know that I'm meant to be confused. That's obvious. It's like so obvious. It's kind of insulting. I have not read Sanderson. Yeah, you should read Sanderson. He's good. But he's like hardcore with his magic systems, and he like explains everything. Breadcrumb says, I've read Stormlight Archive, and Sanderson does amazing world building and doesn't overdo it. Yeah. I'm a Martin stan. I want all the details, but I also want some nice ambiguity. Martin stan. George R.R. Martin. Jay, is that like you're talking about like not God of War. Game of Thrones, right? Yeah, I've never read him, so but yeah, I mean, like you can have fantastical magic. So you guys are talking soft magic systems versus other things. Yeah, I mean, like it makes sense, but I think you need to. There comes a time when, like, if you're just allowing anything can happen and anyone can be saved, it's like this is the problem with the new Star Wars, right? Like there were rules in Star Wars, but then they're just like, nope, no rules. We can crash a ship like light speed through a whole fleet and it kills them all, then it's like, why did we ever care about the Death Star? Because we could have just like stuck our big destroyers right towards the Death Star and blown it up, right? It just like it retroactively kills everything if you don't have like the things of your magic system or your world building plotted out. The Metachlorians is stupid because they put in some things, but at least they were trying to explain like what was going on. I think it's dumb, yes. So that's like the Force can be mysterious, right? And that's kind of like the whole point. They were like, it's all around us, it's in us. It's like they explain it enough for you to be like, okay, it's like this magical like force that surrounds us all, and it's like whatever. I like that explanation. That's fine. You don't have to go into more detail on that. At least they give you some, right? But then because Star Wars just is like whatever, then like Rey in The Rise of Skywalker, she just starts healing people and she starts doing all these things with her magic, like her force powers that have never been introduced in the series, right? This is a problem because then it just becomes like whatever, like anything can be explained, anything can happen, right? So then it's like, I don't know, like I guess I'm just along for like the ride. Like I want to see the cinematic fight scenes because, you know, Cloud will be able to do this in the future, or Sephiroth can just merge these worlds for whatever reason. Okay. That's cool that you can do that, Sephiroth. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Yeah. Brett Toolman says if you're meant to feel nothing at the end, then I am in the wrong camp because at the end had me on a roller coaster. Not all roller coasters are equal though. Okay, cool. Like, cause you were going back and forth. A lot of people, that's like Subtext's thesis of that video is like, he's like, I felt nothing. I didn't like feel like, you know, I just like, what happened? You know, confused, I guess. But he felt numb is what he said. All right, Spencer, do you have any advice for Square Enix should be doing from a business standpoint? Oh, I don't know, Biggles. I'm not smart enough. I'm just the guy I'm just an artist. I don't know what they should be doing. If I was Square Enix, I would say you should. I don't even know if they're like still locked in like a contractual, you know, marketing deal with Sony because they helped publish this game. Like they had like a, you know, timed exclusivity thing with Sony for Remake to come out on their console. So maybe part 3 will be shown at like a state of play or something. But like for me, I don't know. Like I don't play a lot of the stuff that Square Enix puts out other than like the big titles. And they said that they were going to focus on their main AAA franchises, which is great. But like I see stuff like Adventures of Elliot, and I know that those are like awesome games, or like Dragon Quest, like Remake and all these stuff. It's like, I think those are just band-aids right now until they can get to a point where they can start releasing their, you know, big stuff like Rebirth or like Remake, Rebirth, and then Part 3, and then Final Fantasy 17, and then we actually get Dragon Quest 12 if it ever comes out, you know, and these big things that people are anticipating. I think they're just like spinning their wheels, and I know that we're playing Final Fantasy Tactics, and that's like something that, I don't know. This stream just turned into a big crash out. But yeah, I don't know. I think Final Fantasy Tactics is great. I'm having a good time. And like those games serve a purpose, but like I think you're just kind of, you know, treading water until you can get like a release schedule out. So I don't know. Like I would focus on your tentpole franchises. I would release a multi-platform. I think Expedition 33 is like a wake-up call to the industry of like, why is Expedition 33 so beloved? Because it's like good stories, good characters, they take it seriously, and they do a great job with mechanics. So I don't know. I don't know Square's business good enough, Biggles, to be like, they have these IPs and they do these and these, you know, because like, do they even do Bravely Default? Or like, I don't know what Square owns. So it's like, they shed all their Western weight. And so I was like, great, they're going to focus on their main like franchises. But then they come out with little games like Octopath. I know Octopath is getting big or whatever, but is that going to continue in the future? Is that part of their plan? I don't know. Don't bet on it. Laugh out loud. Says Alyssa. The remake games really are entirely different if you played the original. Spoiler alert, Spencer. Okay, Spencer has seen me argue about this, I'm sure, but yeah, the game is not from Cloud's perspective. It is in some moments, but most of the game is not treated as if the player is Cloud. Yeah, like it's not like a first person game where we're like we are Cloud. I'm just saying it's like from Cloud's perspective because he's the main character. We're making choices in dialogue wheels like for Cloud. So it's like he is who we are controlling throughout the game, right? Obviously, the story shifts, and then sometimes we take control of Aerith or Tifa. You know, it's like we're following this adventure with this party, right? But yeah, I would agree with you, Tool Man. So anyway, sorry. Let's see. Spencer, let's see. Spoiler, Spencer. Okay, yeah. My number one concern is that Square Enix is in a weakened state right now, and this might be a hostile takeover, so they might not be able to finish their vision, or will be because of the that investment firm that's like buying up more stock that's like trying to pressure them to do certain things. Yeah, I think that would be a bummer. I don't know, like they shed. If you think about Square Enix as a publisher, I mean they were huge. They used to have their own conferences. They had like Crystal Dynamics and all that stuff when they were doing Avengers and Just Cause and Tomb Raider, and I got all excited when they shed their Western weight because I'm like, I those games are cool. Don't get me wrong, but I want Square to focus on Final Fantasy stuff, and I want to get back to the time where like they can say we'll never get like 7, 8, and 9 like we did in the PS1 era, but like let's try to have like 1 or 2 mainline Final Fantasies like a generation. Let's try to have like Dragon Quest like the mainline ones come out. Let's try to have like these things like the things that people like love come out for. I don't know, like I see them as like a legacy publisher. I don't see them. Could Square Enix, like they introduce these new IP, and new IP gives you lifeblood for sure, but I don't know, I think people just love Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest kind of more than like a lot of other series, and if they would continuously give us like really good stuff, then I think that would be good. But I don't know, there's a lot more to business that I am obviously naive to. Javier says the new Star Wars movies prequels, the Rey trilogy, are the power of the script, basically. Yeah. Sadly, not just Square doing that. Says Alyssa, let's get to some tactics. Toolman just wants me to play tactics. I'll get there. I got a few plans, but we'll get to tactics in a bit. The remakes and re-releases are the way for these companies to make money in between the big name games. Yeah, it's like what I feel like they're doing. And I know they have to like kind of restructure the development. They're consolidating studios and all that stuff. But like, can Square Enix exist like as like a 2, 3, 4 studio game? Like they have their MMOs, they have their mobile departments, like they have like cash cows where things are doing well, right? But then can they exist by just doing like Final Fantasy games and Dragon Quest games and like maybe the like occasional one-off little games when the team need to kind of like refresh and do something light so that they can get back to a bigger one? I don't know, because like that sounds like something that a studio can do, but like they have the pressure of like of a publisher. Square Enix is way bigger than that, so I don't know the stuff. But IGN post this ... Ryan Johnson, welcome Star Wars The Last Jedi, polarizing response, arguing that it would have been worse to create something afraid of shaking up the franchise. I think I read something about that. Yeah. What's up, Swally? Expedition 33 is loved exactly because of what Sven Vinke said in 2024. So if you guys don't know, Sven Vinke is the CEO of Larian Studios. He's the guy who wears like the suit of armor, and he was the game director for Baldur's Gate 3. He gets on stage and he's like, don't worry about money, don't worry about stuff, like just make a good game and then the money will come, right? Which is great. Like I'm glad that we're getting a realization of that so quickly after his speech. So it's like that's true. But I was telling you all the business stuff that Square Enix has to contend with. Like they're a publisher, they have they have so much more to deal with than just a studio to make a good game. But I do agree with that. I think like Expedition 33, like I said, it was a wake up call. They sold it for $50. They had a small team and they got like a lot done, and it was this awesome story and it was written well and people love it. Like you want that passion to come through for Final Fantasy and stuff. So I don't know, like Final Fantasy 16 releases and A lot of people like it, but it's just still feels like it's those old holdover like people like us that are, fans of Final Fantasy because we grew up with it. Like Jolie grew up with it, and I know it, but I don't know. It's a bit tricky. Zage says, I want to get into Octopath so bad. It looked really neat. Square needs to put Chrono Trigger on the modern consoles. Yeah, it kind of starts to feel like I always say Chrono Trigger is like that break glass in case of emergency. Like Chrono Trigger remake or whatever, that's like they need to pull that out because that's like one of the most beloved RPGs of all time. Like it still wins best RPG list today. So it's like, sure, bring out Chrono Trigger, But let's see. Alyssa says, not if those games aren't good. That's part of how they got here, in my opinion. Releasing games that weren't good for the sake of releasing games. Yeah, I agree. Like, so I'm thinking like, but I'm talking about like a Rockstar. They're not a publisher. They're a studio. They have a couple studios, right? But they're owned by Take-Two. But they just get to work on Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. And then you have Bethesda. Bethesda was like, they were part of like a publisher-ish. They were ZeniMax before ZeniMax owned them. I don't know the logistics, but like they just did Elder Scrolls and then they did Fallout, right? It's like they had their big tentpole games and people freaking loved them and showed up for them. And I feel like Square Enix is kind of like the Japanese version of that, where it's like they have, the big Final Fantasy franchise, and they have like the 1-2 punch of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest like kills in Japan. It's like a national holiday when it comes out, and like people like it in the West. But then like Final Fantasy is like, it does really well in Japan, but then it like kills in the West, or it used to, right? But now it's not seeing the numbers of like more modern games. And so I think I agree with you. I think like I was watching the Final Fantasy Union video, and if you guys haven't seen it, I recommend that you go check that out because they talk about like the state of Square Enix, I think is the title of the video. So if you go to Final Fantasy Union, you'll see it. But they talk about how like Square Enix, they had like, well, I can't remember what CEO did, but they like flooded the market with like mobile games, and they kind of rested on their laurels, and like nothing good was coming out. There's obviously the infamous period between Final Fantasy 13 and they did all the sequels, and there was going to be 13 verses, but then like that didn't happen, and then the MMO crashed like and burned for a little bit, and then you have 15 that comes out like 10 years after it was supposed to or whatever, and then not 10 years after, but it was like a 10-year development cycle, which is so long it like almost skips like PS3 like hardly has a Final Fantasy, and then like almost PS4 like doesn't get a Final Fantasy, and then by that time it's like Final Fantasy 15 is good, but it's flawed. It's not finished, and people are like, "What is this?" It's like they don't have that aura. They don't have that reverence that Square Enix used to command. So I agree with you, Alyssa. It's like if the games are good, like if you build it, they will come. Like the Field of Dreams. If it's good, like Swally is saying, the Sven Vinky quote. It's like, if you make a good game, like they will come. And I'm not saying that Rebirth and Remake are bad games. I actually really like them, but I think everything has to hit. You can't have I don't know. It's like this whole thing. I'm hoping that the re-trilogy. Whoa, that freaked me out. My dog just barked. Yeah, I'm hoping that the re-trilogy like works out in a way that like helps me figure out, I don't know. Just kind of drives me crazy a little bit. If everyone from Remake and Rebirth are waiting for the part 3 for the game to even come out, and then everyone's gonna play it at once, and it has this big surge, I don't know. Like, there's people that think that it'll sell worse than Rebirth, and there's people that think that it will sell better. I think it will sell better because there's a lot of people that want to see the ending, and then people will kind of get into the series, and they'll like push it heavily with all the different platforms, but. Anyway, yeah, it's like just make good games. So yeah, if you build it, nerds will come. Very good, Toolman. Square Enix does have tentpole fighting and horror games like Capcom, but I feel like they greater diversity. Okay, beyond just RPGs. Even a publisher, Swally says, even a publisher that is core that makes great games. City Skylines 1 was the same. Okay, cool. Because they're concerned about making money for their investors over making good games. Yeah, and that's like, I mean, that's the nature of it. It's like a business, right? I think if like Square Enix could just be like like a siloed studio that could be like, you just make awesome single player games. We'll focus on the MMOs. We'll focus on other things. But your goal is just to come out with like a core Final Fantasy like every 5 years or maybe even every 3 years if they have a couple studios like switching off, Alyssa says it even hurt them back in their golden age when Sakaguchi was in charge. Okay, cool. So Ollie says Paradox had that harsh lesson with City Skylines too. If you try to find the money glitch, your franchise explodes. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know. There's things that can ruin series, but I don't think you can ever get rid of Final Fantasy, but I think you can make it like awesome. Like, so that's what they need to do is like they need to make it like awesome again. Parasite Eve, Xenogears, etc. were awesome games that didn't hit the sales figures, so they never expanded on them. Oh yeah, that's right. They still own Xenogears, right? And they lost like the talent. Everybody that did Xenogears went off to Bandai Namco and Nintendo. They're trying to do their own version of Among Us called Killer Inn. My guess, though, is they already missed the boat. Maybe if they had come out a few years ago, it would have blown up. Okay, didn't know that. Rebirth was the classic middle of the book series, the slog you get through with large world building and nothing else. It's an important part, though, because it increases the weight at the ending. Yeah, it's like that can be done well. I have issues with Rebirth's pacing, obviously, but it's like they want you to be able to explore all these regions because I think you backtrack and you'll see them again or whatever. But I think they might sell bad if word of mouth about the ending is not delivering. Fans won't buy part 3, aka rebate. I mean, if it's good though, then people are gonna be like, they freaking did it. Then people will want to go through. I think they underestimate story. I really do. And me and Jolie are like storytellers. Jolie's a storyteller. She's the one that's like cares most about story. I can get by through like a game that has cool mechanics that I like. I'm like, yeah, it was fun. The mechanics were cool. The story was kind of weird. That's kind of how I am with this series. I'm like, I'm still confused, but I love the fighting and the characters. Alyssa says, I think part 3 sales will depend on the rating at the end. If it gets a good Metacritic rating, I think the trilogy pack will sell well. Yeah, that's probably true. So anyway, I know that Toolman's like, geek the tactics, but I still want to finish this though. Let's see. Back to our post here. Let me see. Did I have a newest post? Okay. So what are we at? We're like halfway through. We're halfway through the year. And what happens? This is all my streaming stuff. Because Jolie used to post just a little bit. But what I want to do tonight, if you guys want to stick around, but I say we want your opinions, right? And then we have something that hits in June, and Jolie's like, this is the thing she worked on all through maternity leave, right? So we get chapter 9 part out, like part 1. We record it, we do that. But we've only this entire year. Let's see here. Have we recorded? I don't think we've even recorded. That came in February. Yeah, so we did record. We've recorded twice. We recorded once for this chapter 8 this year, probably, or like we recorded because if chapter 7 hit in December, then we probably like recorded over Christmas break or like in January, and then Jolie got it out in February and then March for chapter 8, right? But then we go until June, we record once, and then we've still been doing chapter 9 stuff. So, and that's not to be like we haven't been doing stuff. Here's the reason why. This is what I want to talk about, because then Jolie has like filmmaking connections and stuff, but she doesn't like, she's never been in the gaming world. Ernest starts willing and dealing, and he starts meeting some of the voice actors, and he becomes friends with some of them, and then he like introduces them to Jolie, and with Jolie's like, filmmaking background, they like get in touch with us, and then we get invited to host like a panel at MagWest, which is like this awesome get for us, but like justified because Jolie has all these skills and people don't know. But she's like, oh, I can host them. I've like Jolie's hosted events with I'm not trying to brag or anything. She's awesome, but like she's been in like she's been with meetings with Bob Iger, like the CEO of Disney. Like she's done things with people that are like super up there important, you know. So like for this, people were like, "Can you do this?" Jolie's like, "Oh, no, big problem," you know. So when we were like saying, "Oh, Brianna White's going to be there," John Eric Bentley. The reason why Brianna White and John Eric Bentley and Austin Lee Matthews like came was because of us, because of Ernest and Jolie. So it was just going to normally be William Christopher Stevens. Let me go to a picture here. So yeah, it was going to be just Rude and I think Reno were going to be there. But then like we were talking to Rude and he knew Barrett. And so we were like, well, let's get Barrett there. And so William speaks to John and then John speaks to Brianna. And then, you know, I think maybe Austin Lee Matthews was coming. So it was just going to be like Austin Lee Matthews and the two Turks. So it was like the bad guys. But then we get this whole crew together, which is awesome, right? Javier says, "What are the dogs' names?" This is JPEG. You should know JPEG. And then our other dog's Pixel, because we're nerdy graphics people like that. But anyway, yeah. So like we get invited to host this panel, and Jolie like legitimately crushes it. She does that, and then this is like a big detour, because not only like we would have finished like chapter 10 and we would have done recordings, but then we have to like, you know, Jolie, not only does she like host the panel with the voice acting cast of part 7 or of wow, I can't speak, of Final Fantasy 7 remake and rebirth, but then like Jolie did like a whole panel. You guys haven't even seen this yet, but she did like a name that theme, because Mag West, if you don't know, is, you know, a music conference where they go and it's really cool actually. So in fact, this is what I wanted to play for you guys. Let's see here. I wanted to go to our videos. I wanted to watch, this is like the big thing that happened to us this year. I wanted to, where are we? The Mag West stuff. Yeah, Mag West recap. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Oh, yeah. At least it's not a bra commercial, guys.
I just finished up at Mag West. I'm now.
Let me know if you can hear this. But so the reason I want to show you, I wanted to show you this because this was like awesome for us. We were able to like talk to the voice actors. We got like relationships. Like we have, we're in communication with like John and Brianna and these people, like, but we have some plans for the future, but we can't, like, they have so much of their schedule packed for the year, and they're, you know, working on part 3, so we can't like say a lot. But anyway, yeah, this was like a fun video, but this was like, you know, it's not very long. It's like 15 minutes, but
now just hanging out at the airport. But
Jolie recaps like what she did at Mag West. So this is like something that's cool, where she, you know, this is our first convention that we've ever gone to, you know? But it totally made sense. Like, it was this synergistic, you know, skills where Jolie is this talented person who's worked in Hollywood for years. She's done like, now she works in corporate video and stuff. But then, you know, you guys don't know this about Jolie, but she's like a professional MC. She's like hosted many things. She's, you know, hobnobbed with like the highest in society with Hollywood, but then she's like, I don't love that world, and she likes gaming, and so now she's starting to get into here, and it's just awesome for us. So yeah.
I expected to have a good time, but I'm gonna say,
no, that's where she cuts it off.
I had like an unbelievably good time. It was really, really cool.
We're at Mag West.
Mag
in
West!
San Jose, California.
Ernest,
This
everybody.
is our first time. We've never actually been here, so it's gonna be a fun ride. I mean, from the moment that I got there, I was like, this atmosphere is amazing, because it just feels like it's this judgment-free zone where people can just be who they want to be and dress how they want to dress and appreciate video game music at the same time as appreciating my favorite, you know, franchise, Final Fantasy, and specifically Final Fantasy 7 and Rebirth and Remake this time around for Mag West. So the first thing I think I saw there was this trombone like ensemble doing Final Fantasy music. which is so epic. Of course, Bea was leading that 'cause she's multi-talented. I just could not stop smiling. It was so like entertaining and hilarious and fun
Sorry.
and friendly and like all the things. Hot dog, why not? And since this was really my first gaming convention, I've been to like Disney conventions and I've been to a lot of tech conferences, you know, but I haven't actually gone to any gaming conventions. So it was so entertaining to me to see like somebody dressed as like a chocobo just drinking coffee in a chair in like the hotel lobby, like it was a normal thing.
So yeah, Jolie, the reason why this is such a interesting like shift for us is because Jolie has always done these other things, right? Like she's just like, she comes from the filmmaking world, and then she's like, I've never been to like a video game conference before. And not that we were against it, it's just like our lives, we didn't get to that, like we didn't focus on those sort of things when we started this channel. We've only like, yeah, we're not even 2 years old yet. So Jolie goes to this convention and it's like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah, she lost her voice. She was crazy story, Javier. She actually took prednisone, which is a steroid for your voice, because she had lost her voice right before, but she was supposed to host the whole voice. It was really important because she's like, oh well, I've been they got together and they were like, okay, Jolie's this, professional person from this world, and Ernest was letting them know like who she was and why she should be the host for it. And everything was set up. We got her she got like her plane tickets. Mag West put Jolie in a hotel and like was let her have all this time, and we're like, great, it's on the calendar, we're gonna go. And then Jolie she just loses her voice right before. I'm sure one of the kids brought home a sickness, and then like her voice, Jolie suffers with like sinus infections really bad, and she couldn't, her voice was just gone, and she's freaking out. It's really bad. But Jolie's dad's a doctor, and he was like, okay, like he prescribed her some stuff, and it's a lot of times singers will do this, like if they have a problem, but she took some prednisone and like prayed for the best, and she got through it. But then her voice was getting weaker and weaker. The prednisone was wearing off, and she said she had a lost voice after she got back from Mag West.
Or like some superhero in line for their room key, that just made me laugh. That's totally normal for those of you who go to these things all the time. This was my first, so I found that amazing. And then we got to do 2 different panels at Mag West, which was honestly so fun as well. And the first one that we did was a music panel. It was about the evolution of Final Fantasy.
Sneak peek, this might be a video that Jolie releases on the YouTube channel, so look forward to that, because YouTube has just released a feature where you can do an interactivity like quiz. So they've been hyping it up a little bit. You can interact with the YouTube video. So this is like a name that tune, and Jolie's going to be working on that probably.
This is 7 music from original to remake and rebirth. It's not the motorcycle one, but I can see how you would gather that.
Yeah, it was be cool, Alyssa.
I thought I heard it in the back. It's a person.
It's Rush.
It's not Roche. It's Rufus. It's Rufus. Bravo.
Jolie like literally got on the piano and she was like plunking out those notes, right? Because if we would to play Rufus's theme, it would get copyright struck. So she like plunks out the notes, and then we play gameplay footage, because gameplay footage is like a workaround. You can commentate on gameplay footage, and then it's allowed in YouTube's like fair use laws or whatever. I mean, it's like technically the publisher or whoever owns the rights to it could always take down your YouTube videos, but there's like this unwritten rule that you can just have gameplay footage. So yeah, hopefully she releases this soon.
Bravo. I put so much time into that presentation, so thank you for people showing up. We actually had a pretty packed room, which was a huge blessing, after.
Yeah, like this many people showed up for Jolie is like, nobody knows who we are. We're like a brand new YouTube channel. These are not like people that are subscribed to us. They have no idea who Jolie is, right? But then like Jolie is awesome and talented, and so people are like, okay, they show up and she crushes it.
All the preparation. but the audience was great, super interactive, lots and lots of fun. And we will have a video of that full panel up if we don't already have it up on our channel. So you can check it out if you want to and try to play Name That Tune. Such a pleasure. Thanks for joining us on
It will come
They
out.
had this jam space, I guess, which was like, you could just go
Maybe they
in
are,
there and
Javier.
jump on a stage and pick up an instrument and start playing. I did not do this because that would be scary. I wanted to sing, but I actually had laryngitis this whole weekend. Not enough to where you can really
Okay,
hear it
so
in my
she
talking
explains
voice,
it.
but so I couldn't really sing above a middle G or something. So it was pointless to sing. Next time, we'll jump up on stage. Jump on stage.
Seymour, my friend, the house is on fire!
So if you don't know, this is Roche, and this is obviously Brianna, and then Will's right here. He's rude, and John. And then I think
Mother, it's just the Northern Lights.
I think Arnie is right here. He's
Seymour, you are
Rena.
an odd fellow, but I must say, you steam a doggone good ham.
One of my favorite things about a gaming convention is this.
She loved it. There's a guy in the front row with like this box cosplay, and I don't know, he has like a TV antennas or something. Who knows what it was? But Jolie just thought that was so funny that like the voice cast of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth are right there, and it's awesome. Cool, love it.
It's amazing.
You make anything on $100?
Oh yes, we did hit the $100 thanks to our.
We hit the $100?
Thanks to our generous friends over here from the Final Fantasy Files.
Yeah!
You hear that, Alyssa? So every time that you super chat, we just give it to the donations at MagFest here, so the voice cast can be happy. No, Ernest Jolie. I don't even think he asked Jolie, but then Ernest was just like, "Yeah, we'll pay the $100," and he helped reach their goal, which was kind of fun.
$100.
Yes!
So thank you for your
Listen
support.
to the Final Fantasy Files, dang it! All right.
Ernest and I spent a lot of time.
If I were him, I'd
Guys, I love these commercials. State Farm, should we watch it?
Savings.
At the variety stage area, which is kind
Nope.
of like a middle hub of the upstairs, next to a lot of the jam rooms, next to merchandise, all that, where you would just be walking by and you can sit down.
Now I can make a tax write-off. Yeah, if it was your business. Yeah. So conventions are. I have. Let me know. Have you guys ever been to a convention? Have you gone to video games? I've been to a fan expo in Utah when I was younger. But that was the only time I'd ever been. We would like to go more. Ernest always goes and gets a booth and he puts up our stuff. I'm like, nobody, this was when we first started. I'm like, nobody knows who we are, which is hilarious. But Ernest, like I said, he got everything at the beginning. He was like, we'll get shirts, we'll get merch. I'm like, okay, we should release our first episode first, which is funny. But yeah, you go to conventions and voice actors are there because voice actors, if you guys don't know, remember when Charlie Cox was I just went in on a Saturday and I recorded all my voice lines and I was done, which is crazy because Charlie Cox is this famous, movie actor. And, but he's yeah, I don't really know much about that game. So voice actors, they get paid well, but then they also don't record all year long. It's not Brianna's in the booth. So they go to these conventions, they have signed art, they take donations, they stream, they do all these things to generate revenue. That's why you see them at so many different places, So there's a good chance if you go to a convention that's you'll see them talking about where they're going. I don't know if any of you guys have met them at conventions, but it's a really high likelihood that you might end up seeing them.
Down if you want and listen. It was also right next to the voice actor tables where they would do their meet and greets throughout the weekend. And so we ended up, just because we were there all the time, talking to the voice actors quite a bit.
Rose! In Final Fantasy VII Remake. Watch the Final Fantasy Files.
Austin is now my new favorite.
Austin was very
And of
nice
course,
to
at this
us.
convention, we saw a lot of cosplay, specifically a lot of Final Fantasy cosplay, because the theme of MagWest was Final Fantasy VII.
I love all the
I love
cosplay.
how I just kind of creepily walk over to people and start.
Toolman says, I'd like to go to a convention, but they don't have many conventions in the true Midwest. Yeah, that is the bummer. They're always on the coast. There's a big one in Utah that we want to go to probably this upcoming year if we can swing it. It's like usually in September, October or something. But it's a bummer for you guys because they don't really go there, which is such a lame thing. You're always gonna have to like fly out to Boston for like PAX East or something, or Seattle, or or go to California for something. Come to Utah and hang out with us when we go.
Filming them awkwardly. Yeah, I'm not very good at that. So that, of course, made my heart happy. I talked to so many Tifas.
I love
Tifa's
that.
Here. We have to say hello. She's at guest services.
Jolie's talking to Tifa. Yeah. Okay, not for cons. If you've already been there, just go for a con there, Biggles. Or not Biggles, cool man.
Oh, I like
Anybody can be Tifa. It's just you need the mindset.
Listen to Michelle. She knows.
Anyone can be Tifa, Javier.
Really good. There was a really good Noctis and Luna Freya by, I think they're a well-known cosplaying couple called One Cup of Coffee. These are artists. There's so many good cosplays, and there was a cosplay contest, and that was.
We are Tifa. Zage is here. Our resident Claudie.
There's a lot of Final Fantasy there too, and there's just so many interesting people. You guys.
Look at those guys.
International Airport.
This is my first Manquist. I don't know what's going on. It's a really bright light in my face. There were also a couple times where I was pulled in to like help read donations.
I got the
or kinda
gloves.
host
It's a
some
start.
of the speed runs that were happening, specifically the Final Fantasy VII speed run.
Final Fantasy VII, the original.
I should just watch the speed run.
Strap yourselves in. It is about a 5-hour speed run.
I've skimmed it. It's wild.
Even though they really did not need me there, so they were nice to let me sit in the chair next to them. I don't think I said a single thing into the microphone for that, but I learned a ton about speedrunning, which is incredibly fascinating to me. And also, there was a
I don't know if you get this, but like I grew up, like I understand speedrunning. I understand the video game world. This was like the stuff that I grew up like caring about. Not speedrunning, but just like video game stuff. Like I listen to video game podcasts. I listen to like video game news. I talk about video games on Twitter. Jolie is not from that world. So everything that she said, she's like, speedrunners? They had like a robot playing the game called the Taskbot or something. I'm like, yeah, you don't know this? You don't know this, Jolie? Like, obviously, right? So it's so funny because Jolie is just coming from such a different world, and then everything about this, she's like, oh man, this is so interesting to me. Like everything was just a shock for her, which makes me laugh.
Magic the Gathering game. I am ready for this. I have no idea what we're up against, but I'm excited to learn. Ernest actually played it.
Toolman says, I've been lucky enough to catch both Final Fantasy VII remake and orchestra concerts. Those are just outstanding. Dude, that's awesome. Jolie was devastated because Distant Worlds, like the Final Fantasy remake, or the Rebirth concerts that just barely came. They came to a Bravenel Hall in Salt Lake City, which is really close to us, and we could go. When she was on a work trip, she was like in St. Louis or something. And she was like devastated. She was so sad that she couldn't go to this because when we were in California, we could go all the time. They were always come to LA. Jolie went multiple times to those concerts and loved them. So yeah, I feel you. That's awesome. You get to go to those, Tool Man.
And he won.
Final Fantasy Files, you can.
Wait. Javier says, "Oh, I got the gloves. It's a start." Did she ask Tifa how she avoided getting sliced in half twice? How did she? Or Jolie was adamant about that happening. We are Tifa, says H.
You can find us everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Well, they didn't finish the game.
I love that.
Final Fantasy Files.
Ernest is like, okay.
Ernest actually played it, and he won.
Ernest played the, Magic the Gathering stuff, and he won. But then he gives our little plug.
Fantasy Files, you can find us everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Well, they didn't finish the game, but they.
See, we started out as a podcast first. It wasn't like a video, like a YouTube show, but we focused everything onto YouTube. It's everywhere you listen to podcasts. I don't know. Did any of you guys find us through the podcast?
Determined that if they had been able to finish the game for time, Ernest likely would have been the winner.
We'll say that Ernest is the winner of the game. Yay!
Yay!
Yes. Way to represent Final Fantasy Files, Ernest. Proud of you. So they dubbed him the winner. All right, that was awesome. I really have no idea what was going on, but I liked seeing all the pretty Final Fantasy pictures.
Yeah, so then there were actual concerts where they played Final Fantasy VII music.
Band, I was blown away by them. I really, really liked it. Though I apologize, my footage The microphone I was using did not like the bass in that room, so all the audio sounds like crap.
They were really good, but it sounded awful.
Just trust me, it was really, really good. And then after Super Soul Bros was Mega Ran.
He's cool.
Who's another video game music person. We got to have him on the show. I got to talk to him a little bit afterwards, and really, really fun, like a family guy. He's a rapper, but he's like a family-friendly rapper, and he did a bunch of his Final Fantasy VII like original rap songs that kind of put him on the map. Then he also did like kids raps about fruit or education. And
Yeah, it's meant to be like a podcast, like where you can listen to it, you can kind of, but if you want to watch the videos and you go back and you can relive that chapter for sure, So it works for both. I mean, we still release it as a podcast.
And I just thought that was so
Yeah,
endearing.
Jersey rule.
And I just had a giant smile on my face for all these concerts because they were so much fun. Just a really good vibe in there. Really good vibe. There were all kinds of acts. There was a really heavy metal band that was incredibly talented that I absolutely could not handle because I hate heavy metal music.
With the bad bass.
I watched them for 15 seconds just to appreciate their talent. Amazing. And
So anyway, I'll skip ahead, but this was there's a bunch of bands at Mag West, but
then on Saturday, Ernest and I went to lunch with William, who plays Rude in Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. They took me to they didn't take me. They are both from the South, so they wanted to go eat Southern cooking.
Jolie's biggest regret. This is so funny. This is another behind the scenes thing for Jolie. She Ernest and William are legit friends. They message each other, and if Ernest is going to a conference, sometimes Ernest will go to Seattle for a con or something, or in California, right? Yeah, look at that third wheel, Jolie say. She is really upset that she didn't hit it off better with William. I mean, Williams likes Jolie fine, right? But she's no, he needs to I need to be his favorite. But then she's many times it would just be him and Ernest speaking, it's really funny. She explains it here.
So they took me to a place called Jackie's. I keep saying take me. They went to a place called Jackie's. I tagged along basically as the third wheel because William and Ernest are buddies, and I was literally crammed between the car seats in the back of the Jeep, but they were so nice to let me come along. What are you getting, William? Do you know?
I'm definitely getting greens, and I'm going to take a look at the rest of the menu.
And I tried collard greens for the first time.
Oh my gosh, that's so strong.
So
she didn't like collard greens.
It was off for my back.
Yeah, she's going for Ben Starr next, Alyssa. That's very true. I'm kidding. Yeah. The funny thing is Jolie knows that world, right? She when she talks about performers, and I know we talk about it a lot on the channel, but she's always I know what they're going through. I know how hard acting is and how tricky it is to get gigs and all this stuff. Because she's I would cast. She used to go to LA to cast for her projects and stuff, and she would meet with people, and she'd see the auditions that people would go through all the time. And she's as a director, she's casting for her production or whatever, and it's oh man, it's just so hard to be an actor. So every time that someone breaks out and she's this person's really good, she's been in productions with people that you would know from popular sitcoms and Hollywood features and stuff. So Ben Starr is she says it's not this is gonna sound dumb. We always joke about it, but I'm Ben Starr was he's so famous now, Jolie, and she's he's not that famous,
One of the most amazing things that they did at Mag West, and apparently they do every year, is they have an orchestra and a choir that rehearses one time, and then they put on a show or a concert for anyone who wants to be in it. So if you bring an instrument or your voice, you can just opt into this choir orchestra performance.
I think this is so cool. He's video game famous. That's why Jolie didn't think he was that famous. These are just people that bring their instruments. Can you believe that? This big bass and cellos, their tubas.
And the joy in that for me was so awesome watching. I couldn't sing in the choir again because laryngitis, but just seeing all those people playing these instruments, and they played Final Fantasy VII songs. And nobody cares how perfect the notes are, but it still sounded good enough to be enjoyable. They only rehearsed once. It was pretty awesome. blown away by that because it's so wholesome feeling to have all these people come together and just want to play. And a lot of them are like the cosplayers that I saw earlier, so they're playing in costume. It's just so, it's so fun. Maybe this is old hat for y'all, but it's not old hat for me.
Sephiroth, One-Wing Angel. Sephiroth is so cool, guys. I love it. I think it's so cool that they just
And then, of course,
do
we
it,
did
bring their
another
stuff.
panel. This one was with the voice actors.
He's just a
which
cool
was
guy.
Total treat.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome.
When we gonna do your next project? You got
So like that was funny. Like, John and Jolie, like they were talking about stuff, and like John's been in Hollywood. He's been in like, if you go to his IMDb page, like he's been in, you know, live action productions as well as like voice acting. Like he's become, you know, really, really prolific when in the voice acting world, but you know, he had done TV and some small bits in movies as well, you know. So like him and Jolie like understood each other, you know, and understood like he's like, okay, Jolie's a director and comes from this world, you know. A lot of these other people, like because this is Brianna's first acting role. Voice acting role. She's like a model and some other things before, right? And then like William has done a bunch of other voices, and Arnie's done some things too. Austin not as much, but he's done a few. So like John like understood how Jolie understood things, if that makes sense, which is kind of cool. But Bigelow says, I clipped this interview, the part where someone in the audience tries to get part 3 hints and Brianna just glares. Yeah, that's true. And this whole thing, another behind the scenes look, I don't know if Jolie talks about it.Maybe she does in this episode. But Brianna, they were scheduled to go at noon, and Brianna had something. Maybe she had an audition or something, and then she went to, I don't know. They were in San Jose. Usually, maybe that was the thing, but she had to push it back 7 hours. 7 hours, which actually ended up being good because then this was like the headliner for the night, right? But yeah, Jolie was there and ended up talking to him about it. But John and Brianna seem like good people. They're awesome, Tool Man. So funny because like Brianna is like this young, you know, attractive girl. I mean, she's not like young. She's like in her 30s, but like she's like, when you go to video game conventions, you know, Jolie was like describing her as that Brianna was like the type of person who was like happy to be there, you know, that she does this all the time, but also like she loves having John there because John's like her buddy, protector, person who comes and like can be there, and you know, so she usually goes if John goes. If it's just her, like she'll go if like Britt Barron or Susie Young or something, I don't know how to say her last name, they go together as well. But if John's there, you might see Brianna there as well. But they're awesome people. John is like especially just like an amazing person. Austin's amazing. William's amazing. Arnie makes me laugh. He's way cool. They're all amazing people, you know.
We got the job.
Yeah. You're all hired.
Finally! God, I needed that job so desperately.
Arnie's like, I needed that job so desperately. It's like they're working actors, but like they need gigs, you know, to make it. So
I'm absolutely flattered that I got to be able to do this with, you know, Ernest and the voice actors and be able to craft some questions to ask them. We are going to put that full panel up on the channel as well, so you can watch it if it's not already up. I just have a ton of respect for all voice actors. John, Brianna, William, Arnie, and Austin. Got to spend a lot of time with Austin. Got to spend a good amount of time with John. These people are good people, and that was just so much fun. The audience was amazing. The vibe in the room during the panel was fantastic. At least from my perspective, I was really, really enjoying it. So thank you to everybody who supported that. That was really, really cool. The voice actors brought some fantastic insights and a lot of great information that I did not
Best Bud John
know
says,
about,
yeah.
being that I'm a live actors like director, you know, like a film director more than I've never done voice directing, and especially for a dubbed game, it's just a totally different world.
We also listen to the Japanese voice actors for every single line that we do, because that informs everything that we do.
yeah, so like when we talk about, you know, voice acting on the channel, Jolie understands acting from like a fundamental level, and she like being a, I don't know if you guys know that, but like directors are like integral, what's the word? Are so important to the success of actors, right? Because the director not only has the vision, but they're responsible for helping the actors get to a place so that they can react appropriately and genuinely to the scene that they have the vision in their mind, right? So actors and directors work hand in hand together, right? It's not just like, you know, a movie star comes on set and they do whatever they want, right? It's like the director that has the vision and they have to get the actors there. If it's a really good actor, they can do it, you know, on their own with like some slight direction from the director, but like the director is always there working with directors. So Jolie like has a heightened sense of, you know, what I need to do for these actors to get them to a certain place so that their reaction will be authentic. And she's like hyper aware of when a performance is off, right? And that's why she has like criticisms that might be different than the majority of people that play the voice acting role or the remakes and the voice acting in those, right? It's not that they're bad when it comes to like video game stuff, but Jolie has like just a higher bar, right? Alyssa says, as a woman, I get why she wouldn't want to be meeting a ton of strangers alone. Totally, right? This is something that I didn't know. Like when I got married, like Jolie's like this petite little like 5'3.5" like girl. I'm like 6'2", 6'3", and I'm just like, it's a privilege that we have. It's like I don't even think about like other people messing with me because I'm just like this big oaf. But when I like Jolie's like, yeah, I know every guy who's looking at me from everywhere or whatever. So when Alyssa says, yeah, it makes Brianna feel comfortable. I think John's like 6'5", 6'6" or something. He's this huge dude, right? And he's so lovable and friendly, but I'm sure it makes her feel better. Alyssa also says, glad she had friends in the cast. She feels comfortable and safe around. Totally. 6'3", very humble. Oh, privilege. I'm not like, I don't know. I'm a tall guy, but I always thought I was little. I didn't mature until like way later. Like I didn't hit puberty until I was like almost graduating high school. So I was always like the short kid. So I just kind of see myself as a short kid. But yeah, I'm pretty tall. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. All you short kings, if you're short, good for you. If you're tall, good for you. Not a big deal.
That's all part of it.
That's so
In a
fascinating.
weird way, tell the truth. Because sometimes you listen to the Japanese line and it's long and you got like 4 or 5 words. and sometimes you listen to the Japanese line and it'll be a line like this. But that's how we would deliver it. But that sounded like this!
I heard they turned a couple dozen people away, including John Eric Bentley's own son. Didn't get into his own.
John Eric Bentley's son was his handler. If you don't know what that is, so like when they have the booth set up at a con, they'll have, you know, like a convention, they'll have people that, you know, you stand in line and you talk to the handler first before you can meet with the voice actor or whatever. And it's just for like safety reasons and a lot of logistical things. A lot of times they want to sign something or whatever. So they'll have everything ready. And so they'll give you a little preview and like, you know, filter people through so they, you know, the actors know what's going on. And usually you bring like a friend or a family member. And so John brought his son.
Dad's panel. He was cool with it. He's fine. There was like a marketplace where people were making things and selling them, but they were pretty amazing.
Jolie's like has no idea what a convention's like.
These hats that are so cute.
She's just amazed.
Oh, that's so cute.
I had the opportunity to pull each of the voice actors aside and ask them some of your questions, actually. So if you submitted a question for the panel that we didn't get to, then I really tried to get as many of those in as I could. I couldn't get them all in, but I tried to get a bunch of those in. And yeah, the actors were totally cool to do that.
Do any of your former teammates know that you're the voice of a major video game character?
Some of them do. Many of them do. It's so weird, you know, you get my kids playing you and I heard your voice in my living room.
Stop.
Those are the fun ones.
John Eric Bentley, I loved him as a performer. And as a human, he's even better.
So whenever I get to meet people, I want to treasure that. And I want to
not even the panel.
I want to show them empathy. I want to show them care. I want to
so
show them a friendly gesture and a smile. And for me, and you know me as well, I like to hug. I'm a hugger. But I hug for a purpose because I don't know if you woke up and no one told you hello, good morning.
He's such a loving
I don't know
guy.
If you woke up
He's
and someone said I love you.
so cool.
I don't know if you have someone to let you know that you are special to them. And so whenever you meet me, I'm gonna do it. Even for those who are like, no, I don't want to hug, I'm still going to let you know that you're important and you're special because I don't think it goes around enough.
Austin's incredibly talented.
Ernest believes that Austin should be the voice of none other than Kefka Palazzo from Final Fantasy VI. If they ever do a remake, she totally should.
And I agree.
He agrees.
Life.
Don't you think that like Roche would be like when he goes all out insane? It's funny because like Austin wasn't really. He says that like he kind of toned it down when he's in the booth. He just kind of lets it loose, and you feel that when you play when you see Roche in the remakes. But man, like he would do so well as Kefka. That's something I agree with. But he kind of just does a little reading here.
Dreams, hope. Where do they come from and where do they go? Such meaningless things. I'll destroy them all. Oh!
Oh my gosh, it's like a perfect audition. You guys.
Jolie like loves it.
They're just so great, you guys. Like they're good people. They deserve the success that they're having, which is really cool to see. In fact, I told John that my brother has a big like canvas of Barrett on his wall because he's a big Barrett fan. And I was going to ask John if he would record like a short video message for my brother. And before I could even get the words out of my mouth, he's like, "Oh, let's call him." I'm like, "Wait, like call him? Like video call him?" And he's like, "Yeah." So he video called my brother from my phone, and my brother's face
James freaked out
when he saw he was talking to Barrett and he's in the Barrett voice and stuff. It was too good.
I'm like starstruck right now.
I love that they filmed it.
So cool.
I don't know like how they filmed it. If they didn't know he was calling, I don't know.
Goodness.
It was awesome. The only voice actor I couldn't pull aside for a private conversation on camera was Brianna, but I was able to read to her off camera some of the comments you guys have asked me to give to her, so to make sure that she saw that she had your support. John, Brianna, William, Arnie, you guys are awesome. Thank you for doing this for us.
Thank you both.
I had an unimaginably good time.
So anyway, we'll end it there. But like Jolie, this was like a big thing that we hadn't planned on. It kind of fell in our lap, but then like we made some connections, and now we know a lot of the voice actors of the Final Fantasy VII remake. And it's been cool. Like we know them, we stay in contact with them a little bit, but we're not like, we have some plans to do things with them in the future. So yeah, look forward to that. But they're awesome people, and this was like the big reason why we kind of threw off what we were doing. And then throughout the rest of the year, we were like, okay, we have to produce the Mag West stuff, and Jolie's doing the Mag West stuff. She's doing the deep dive chapters. We've already recorded chapter 9, and then so I'm like, well, Tactics is coming out. That's like when I start streaming, right? And so then I started streaming this year, and that was like kind of the thing. Like this is like just a test. I didn't know if people would want to come or show up, you know. And so yeah, and then I junk up all the Jolie and I were talking. It's like all these posts that I'm like, hey, like we're doing a stream or whatever, so nothing's happening tonight, you know. But then Jolie's like, I just posted. She hadn't checked the post, like the community tab in a while. And she's like, usually when I post for like a big chapter, you know, deep dive, people like will like it and comment on it or whatever. And it like was kind of like lower. I'm like, oh, that might be because like I've been just spamming chat every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to tell them that like I'm streaming. So anyway, yes, the chart, that's right. And that's why Ramlita was born in 2025. The chart, the diagram, all the things that you've contributed. So you guys, like, honestly, you know, because we don't have a lot of people watching right now. It's probably just like the main people. You guys are great. Like, you guys have been a part of Final Fantasy Files this year because we didn't have like the bandwidth and time to pump out as much as we wanted to because of circumstances. But those circumstances were great. Obviously, having a baby and, you know, being able to do things with the community in different ways, like Mag West, and our opportunities to meet the voice actors. So anyway, all good things, but that was like kind of wrap up for our 2025, and now we're here. We just released the end of chapter 9, and we're finally moving on to chapter 10. So yeah, we'll be asking for your comments if you guys are interested in it. But yeah, put 3 Zacks on the cover of part 3. Yeah, and then the good thing is about us, if you guys are bummed about not getting an announcement for part 3, you can always hang out with us, because we're gonna be slowly going through Rebirth and getting our way through next year. But I think next year we will be able to get through the game. We'll obviously get to those big weighty chapters like 12, 13 and 14 of Rebirth, and it'll be fun to kind of be caught up and see what everyone's doing. So anyway, I've made you guys wait long enough, but that was just kind of like something that we got up to this year. You guys were awesome. Thanks for being so kind and making the streams fun. Because like I said, I was just going to get on, and I thought I would just be playing tactics, and like my brother would watch me or something. So it's been awesome to meet all you guys. But yeah, let's go over to tactics. I'm going to run to the restroom while I play this, and then we'll see you guys in a bit. Guys, I'm getting excited. Dude, that is so Jolie. That sounds just like her. Dude, you do not need to do that, Franco. Don't do that. I'm not going to win this mission. It's animating on mine. Alyssa, stop. Why is Ramsey grabbing delete? Wait. Taylor, stop. 777. I got the reference, though. Speaking of ships, this is your ship happening right now, Javier. Come on, Zalbag. Dude, no way.
God, 7 us.
I did not see that happen. We're creating a new ship right now. Here we go, Alyssa. In 3, 2, 1. Just like part 3. They're gonna whip so hard. It's the perfect ending to the stream. Whoa, guys! What are you doing? Let's get romantic. Wait, Delita. I have to save the princess because she also knows how to whistle with a blade of grass. How's everyone liking the voice acting and tactics? I love it! I love it. So good. Love it. Love the voice acting. The voice acting! We're about to hear some sweet voice acting. Oh, dude, they're gonna execute her? We used to be brothers. I was a sellsword with you for years. I just feel bad that you did that to yourself, buddy. I feel like holy is like the spell to use. Woo! The last time someone got kidnapped, things got messed up. Weegraph, say her name. Tetra, say her name. This game slaps.
Draw your sword, Ramza.
Look who's so cocky. I'm gonna die.
It's over.
Dude, is this for real? That had me freaking sweating. Javier, you saved the freaking day. Oh, holy cow. She just like tossed him off the roof. I don't know. I think the voice acting is incredible. We just beat chapter 3, y'all. All right. We're here. We need to have Biggles blow up some people. We've got Sidolphus. The Thunder God has joined our party. We are unstoppable now. Would you say the stream slaps just like Tactic? I like playing that video. I know it's stupid because you guys have all seen it, but it's fun to like, I don't know. I think we've had a good time. It's been fun seeing, this game. And when you get to watch like a sizzle reel of all the things that we've done, it's like, we've had good moments. Like each of you has played a role in making this stream fun, like Toolman has made me laugh multiple times. He's always there to like define something for me when I need it. Bigglesworth is helping me break the game. Alyssa's like dream of becoming a samurai has never been quite realized. Javier has found his new favorite ship. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's just been cool. You guys have been awesome. Breadcrumbs and Gaming met us from a convention and it hangs out with us. So very cool. I feel like I need to buy katanas for Alyssa before we continue. Right, guys? Because I feel like she has all these abilities that she can't do. But I don't know where katanas would be before we can... You know? I feel like they were down here. Ramlita forever! You like the recap vid? Is it like annoying that I play it every time? I know. I never know. All the katanas.
Welcome.
We need them.
In particular.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go. I've got 2 in each. We need to buy another one. Oh, does that mean I have one and I'm equipped? Okay, I'll have 2 of each. I gotta. My OCD demands that we have 2 of each in backup.
Are you happy? Thank you for your cup.
So that one. Ooh. These are ninja blades. I just bought 2 ninja blades. That's fine. Biggles has already moved on to New Game Plus. To a new game to break. That's awesome, man. Yeah, you broke it, man. It's like me and Jolie were talking. We're like, it's like kind of fun, but it's kind of sad that we just destroy everything. Is there? I don't know where else. Is there?
Welcome. After all, in particular.
Is that all the stuff I'm gonna get? I don't know. Like I got an extra one, but I didn't get all of them I wanted. Maybe am I waiting for more? Where do I buy the katanas? Not there. If you guys know where the katanas are, let me know. You can throw a spare ninja blade instead of my katana. Only throw katanas. I feel like I'm not gonna have very much luck. I knew there was one there, but out in the... Head to the east. Well, I got you one extra one. It's lonely being the god of the universe. Aerith tried to warn you, Sephiroth. Yeah, what do you want, Sephiroth? What's your motive? Nobody gets it. Okay, maybe we do. Voice acting, be quiet. What? Is that who I think it is?
A flower, sir?
What?
Gill.
Oh! Is this Brianna's voice? She has to like speak in Old English? I thought this was gonna be a side quest. This is like perfect timing. Toolman's like, just play the game. You probably wanted to see this forever ago. Okay, this is tripping me up. Okay, Flower Peddler, how cool. Let's listen. Everyone shut up. Shut up. We're listening to Brianna. We just hung out with her in Mag West. Now let's hear her. Side quest reopening soon. Aerith is not side content. Nice. Oh, this is cool. You passed me a long time ago, Spencer.
A flower?
Yes, a flower. A blossomed bud. You've seen one, I'm sure.
Oh, very interesting. Where is Aerith lives? Yeah, that's right. Who is this Ectogamut person?
Of course I have.
Well then, surely you could spare a gill for one of mine. They're quite pretty.
I'm too tired, says Biggles. This is cool. Why is the music all creepy? Why is it playing the Cardinal de Quab music when I knew that he was sus next to Aerith? I have no need of flowers. Very well. I'm having a flower.
Very well. I'll have a flower.
You know I'm taking that flower.
Truly? Oh, thank you, kind sir.
Cute.
Few are inclined to stop in this squalid rookery, and even fewer buy. It is a harder life than you know.
It's so funny because like the voice acting cast was like that British studio that did 16. And Brianna's not part of that, but then it's like she's Aerith. That's cool that it's Brianna. That's rad. But like she doesn't. She's trying to do like a old like British accent.
I always dream some charming knight will come galloping through and sweep me away from all this.
Oh, my chat will take you away, Aerith. They love Aerith.
Beg pardon, sir. I know there's naught you can do.
Yeah, she's doing good. I just know her. It's weird, Toolman. It's hard to like separate it, right? Because I just am like, this is Brianna, you know? But no, she's doing a great job. You've heard me try to do any voice acting, and I cannot do that. I do like that they brought her and Cody in to play the roles. Yeah, this is a sweet touch. I'm like excited.
I thank you again. May that flower bring you good fortune.
Yeah, I see, but that's harder for her to do because everyone else is. I mean,
these times are hard for all.
Not that like Ben Starr is speaking in his normal voice as Dystark, but like it's easier for that, you know, that studio to speak like the old English that's written here than it is for Brianna, who's didn't grow up and, you know, have a closer accent to that. You are literally Mickey Mouse. No, okay. So if you think that makes me think you're not a very good judge of voice acting if you think my Mickey Mouse is the best. Do the side quest and unlock immediately following this. You'll have to backtrack. Okay, that's fine. You cheeky little blighter. Well, they just like grumble. They just gurgle in their throat. I'm gonna have to drink some more throat coat tea before I do that, boys. They just like, oh Ramsey, you cheeky little blighter, what are you doing over there? We're gonna route you, get you later. Like I don't even. It just becomes like this mess, man. I need more of that. Can't even understand what they're grumbling. Okay, so that's crazy. So that it introduces a side quest. Okay. Oh, we're going right here. If I'm wrong about voice quality, then don't want to be right. See, like that's. Well, you're just being nice to me with my Mickey Mouse impression, but I'm nowhere near Brianna's level, obviously. I'm just a dude. Mustadio's not dead. This is the first time we've seen him.
What is this monstrosity?
But yeah, like so. A lot of people, when Jolie talks about how like she has issues with like some voice acting performance, a lot of people don't care, right? They're like, no, I think it's great. So. I really wish you'd play Dragon Quest after this. You are literally Robin Hood with that voice. A good impression is funny, not necessarily 100% accurate. Very well, Toolman.
I'm not entirely sure. I've been assembling it from pieces recovered in Tunnel 83. It has the look of an orrery.
An orrery?
Said it does. But something tells me there's more to it.
It looks like an orrery, an ornery. I can't do it, Javier. You guys think I'm like this funny like impersonator? I can't do that.
Whoa! Wow! Oh!
What did Mickey do? He says, I like need like a sentence to say.
Wow, look at that!
I can't, there's no way to do it.
To hear it said, it does, but something tells me there's more to it.
How would you do a British? That's just Mickey. I'm just reading the words. Can't do it. Fail.
Do you need aught else?
What's that?
You cheeky little blighter.
That was a little better. Sora, the whispers took the key.
Sora! Those whispers took the kingdom hearts. Oh boy, there's Robin Hood.
There you go. There's my Mickey, guys. You just talk in the high voice and you say "oh boy" a lot. And
wow, oh wow, you're swell.
This device reacts to aura sight as well. What's this? There's a mark inscribed upon the base.
Ooh, there's that. Is that Pisces? That's my sign.
Indeed. Another stone appears to be required.
Oh, we'll get you a stone. The Knights Templar won't keep him for long.
Then I suppose we'd best begin searching.
We best be killing some Lucavi. If I tried to do that, it'd probably come out as Michael Jackson, not Mickey Mouse. You would sound great, Tool Man. Everyone can do the Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is not impressive. You just go to your falsetto. Ah! Your head voice. My kids think it's the same, which is all that matters. Run, Remza. Flee. Oh, no. In the old game, did you have to play every time there was a random encounter? Laugh out loud like the one... Sounds like we're going for Arnold there for a second. Yeah. No Arnold. Arnold is also another... Are you talking about like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Everyone can do like an Arnold.
Welcome. Make yourself at home. Rumors, eh?
This seems interesting. Mayhap I should look into it.
I said everyone can do an Arnold, but then I'm like, I don't think I can do an Arnold. He just does like his...
Need anything else?
He got... The way I could do Arnold is like when he just goes into like his, like ranting, like, oh, I'm the governor of California, yeah. It's so dumb. I used to teach English during the pandemic to like, it was just like those video calling things. And I would like do crappy impressions to like people from like Saudi Arabia and China and like, they'd like call in and they were like, you are like famous actor. And I'm like, no, you just have no idea.
Thank you and farewell.
Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. I was like, what are you writing? Oh, you're writing in his voice. Very well done. I can't do these impressions or I'm going to lose my voice again. Especially like the Governor was like all gravelly. Oh yeah, we're going to crush it. Biggles.
For victory.
Jolie.
Leave it to me.
Alyssa.
Very well.
Javier. Let's roll out. Autobots, roll out. Spencer, I missed you, man. Been MIA. I'm back and available for the streams. What's up, Travis? Welcome back, my friend. Dude. Oh, Construct.
Warning. Human entry prohibited.
Travis, we just kind of been chilling. I haven't even gotten to tactics until it was like the past 20 minutes. We've just been talking about like what we've been up to this year and kind of having a recap. So welcome, man. I can't remember if you've been around. Like you're in comments and stuff. But I know some people are here for tactics and some people here for my shenanigans. There was like a lot of shenanigans tonight, and you know, barely got to tactics.
Vacate premises within 30 seconds. This is not a drill.
Construct 7 sounds way cooler than Construct 8. Construct 8 sounded like Mickey Mouse. Like a little girl Mickey Mouse voice. More throat coat stat. We need more. It's all gone. I just have the tea bag. Should I just suck on that? It's pretty good tea. I like the licorice flavor. I am here for The Last Jedi and Tifa crash outs. I haven't crashed out on Tifa for a while. And we gotta give Zage some love, you know? Zage is our resident Claudie. He's like the only one amongst a sea of Clariths, alright? So be nice to Zage. Travis says, that's perfect. I was gone for a month between traveling and moving. Love your opening convos during your streams. Oh, I don't know. I went too long, but it's good to have you back, Travis. Thanks for being supportive.
29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24.
I like that we have to sit and listen to all this.
21.
We get the idea.
System error. System error. 3, 2, 1. Annihilation mode initiated.
They didn't want us to wait the whole 30 seconds.
Research staff, evacuate to shelters immediately.
What is 42? What are you talking about, Javier? Oh, dang. The answer to everything. Is it just him? There's like a bird up there. Oh, the dragons are alive. I thought they were just like gargoyles. This is gonna be a tough fight, guys. They're going all before me. Alyssa, feather bomb. You didn't block it. It's a cockatrice. No, not Jolie. Good thing she's got auto potion equipped. Guys, why am I going so last? Stay alive. They all get to go before me? This is unreal. You guys ready to see me die for the first time? Jolie, no!
Not good.
No, dude, they're gonna get you, Joe. No, Biggles! If they kill Biggles, I will lose the game! Mana shield.
It helps.
Re-raise. No, they got Jolie. Try attack. And they're gonna get Javier. Oh no. No, Alyssa. I'm like, did you guys know I was gonna get totally bodied by these guys? Alright, well, I have a Dragoon and I don't even know what to do. How much health does he have? Holy crap! But do you have potions? I don't have anything. I've just been like coasting on... I haven't even like... This game has been on easy mode for so long. I didn't even save. I've never died in this game. This will be way easier than the first time I did this. Laugh out loud. High ground. Okay. But we can't... See, my problem is I can't let Jolie and Alyssa die. Because if Jolie and Alyssa die, I will feel like a member of my family. Obviously, Jolie is my wife. But Alyssa is like my sister. She's been here from the beginning. And she just got wrecked. Because they're wearing freaking chameleon robes. Because I usually get to go first and wreck them. Not fair. The construct even gets to go before me. Okay, well. I don't even know what I have. I don't even have anyone that can res. Biggles took a freaking mana. Oh man, this is crazy. I'm used to dying in the game. It's okay. I reached my dream job. You finally worked to get your dream job and then you die. We're not going to let you die, Alyssa. We're going to make this work. Man, they're all so much more stronger than me. Okay. I don't even... Okay. I've asked you guys this a million times. If there are any people who understand the mechanics of jump, please tell me. Clear the board first, you say. Because for me, it's like... I don't know when I'm going to land. If I knew when I was going to land, I could like strategize, but I never know. It's based off my speed, but I don't know what that means. Because it's also based off the speed of the other people. Alyssa, are you the Kenny McCormick of the party? Is that from South Park? You killed Kenny! You killed Alyssa! I lack my energy. Okay, well, if you guys know, let me know. I'm gonna jump on... Why? I just don't feel, 75. More damage. I'm gonna jump on you! I'm gonna do it. Ah, shoot, Biggles. We lost. That's the game, guys. I lost. I was hoping I could actually do something with Biggles. I have re-race on, but there's no way I win this without Biggles. I don't have anything. I have fundamentals and my geomancy stuff. That was not fair at all. You guys knew what was happening. Okay, this game just got real. I gotta take it seriously now. Yeah, dude, you just got nuked. And nobody has res. Ramza doesn't have res. Oh man, it's just hopeless. Well, you guys want to see me die? Here you go. I put the high ground.
I must keep at it.
Well done, Ramza. We're screwed. Goodbye, Javier. Let's just see me slowly die. And I turned to stone. Oh, guys, it happened. Chapter 4 officially kicked my butt. Well, I guess we got to end the stream there then, right? Because that's never happened. I've never seen this screen. Look how pretty it is. Now let's play Katamari, you say. What happens if I hit retry? Change formation and retry. Retry from start of battle, okay? Well, I need to take it seriously now. Yeah. I need to change my formation. Can I take these guys on? I feel like I can't do it without Biggles. I should just have 2 arithmeticians, to be honest, but let's see. Okay. So he just trounced me so hard. I can't really hide from you. But let's do some stuff. Okay? I don't even know if I have the good stuff. I haven't bought stuff in ages. Is the circlet the best? There's a crystal helm. Who's wearing the crystal helm? Nobody knows. Impossible to know. I should buy stuff. We need healing, says Javier. On the side quest too. Okay. You should be able to do it, but might need to see how to get the highest possible speed for all characters. Yeah, that's true. That's not fair that they get to just destroy me. I mean, it's fair. I'm just like playing this on. I do have my guys equipped with their stuff. Treasure hunter. What's the fast? Because you're at a speed level 9 and you went last, so I thought 9 was high. Is that low? Jolie got toasted easy. She couldn't even do anything. Da-da-da-da. This is where you get to see my... You've trained me to not learn the game. It's been so easy to not worry about it. So now I'm like, okay. Because if we change stuff like that, increases your speed. Okay. But then also... grants immunity to silence. MP doesn't really matter for me. That just boosts. I need to give you speed. Hermes shoes give me speed. Speed is greater than all. Or just level up, you say. Okay. I've got that. Okay, I think that's good. I'm now 11. I don't know if that does anything for me enough. If I change jobs, does my like when I was a white mage? Just want to see some.
I will rise to the
I'm slower. Did that change it, or did it change it because I changed my gear? Changed my gear. So I go back to the Green Beret and the Hermes shoes, I'm a little faster, right? I'm at 12 now. I was at 11. Okay. I have a heals. They like one-shot me though, guys. Oh no, don't you dare. Okay. I don't want the serpent staff. I want more magic power. So now we are putting the tactics in tactics, you see. I know. Now I'm having to pay attention. What is this? I'm just supposed to kill everyone easy. Okay. Mana shield was good. That saved me at least once, but maybe I'll be able to get something off before that. Ignore weather. Mana font recovers MP. Jump and movement. I don't care about treasure hunt right now. Maybe I'll need mana so I can move and stay alive. I don't know. This is all just... We'll see. Ramza, you cannot just be a dragoon. We need you to be something more. I don't understand dragoon. Should I have him be a different job? See, now I'm like starting to care and worry about this stuff. When have I ever had to worry? I don't know what to be. So now, okay. Now that we test my lack of knowledge. I like monk.
Let's try it.
I love it. Can monks wear... No, they can't. They can't wear the chameleon robes. All right, tell me, Biggles. I'm like, I'm trying to think of like what would work best, but I'm like a little bit like I can have some of the things. Purchase time mage skill for Biggles. Time mage. Okay. I can't buy it. I've got... I can't do it. I only have 60 JP. So, can't do it. If the unit receives damage and is encrypted, the unit's next turn will come immediately. That's if I get damage. Gotcha. Well, that's not gonna work. Just let me game it out. But you guys can tell me what to do. You can always backseat game, but you can watch me struggle now. I'm picking up this guy because he can do some... What other stuff should I worry about? I have a res as a... Maybe I go... Can I be like really tanky? If I go to a knight... I love that I can go to chameleon robes. A little bit more. I don't really care if I do that and I have martial arts. I've got vanish, vigilance. I'm reading your chat, Biggles. Don't worry. Or purchase that reaction for any characters that qualifies. Yeah, I think I have it for a few people. Which is nice, yeah, because then I'll get hit and then I'll need to use it immediately, right? If unit receives damage and is in critical condition, fully restores the unit's HP. Okay. Mana shield might be a good idea for a monk because I don't need mana, right? Da 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 da. Oh yeah, and then we want to make myself fast. Anything up my speed? other than our Hermes shoes. I'll take it. You could... Don't mock me, boys. Okay, so there's an enemy right here. Feel like they got me when I was clumped up, but I'm trying to protect Biggles here. We're gonna...
Leave it to me.
Wait, we're gonna build a wall around Biggles. Gotta save Biggles.
It's time.
If Time Mage can boost Biggles' speed from their turn coming immediately. Yeah, she's got it. That's a good call. If she can survive. Let's do this.
I'll do what I can.
So she has auto potion critical quick. We'll put that on her. Magic boost. What does teleport even do for me? Whatever. We'll do. I mean, levitate. Time magics. Oh, this is where I'm actually getting nervous. You guys are seeing me sweat.
Wow, this is so tricky. What are we gonna do, Goofy? Whoa.
I like how my thing has become. I just talk like the stupid mouse. Oh, funny. Should I have items? Maybe she can help me out with that. I don't know. Time magic is your primary, so it's not in this menu. I already got it. It's quick, critical quick, right? Yeah, I already have it on her. You're saying time magic is your primary, so it's not in this menu. Are you talking about something else? I know that. I'm just banking on her getting hit because it's 8. Do you have haste unlock on this? Yeah. She